We have a special announcement here. We launched our website, so you can go to jaredsinger.com now and get all the updates. You can go there. Eventually, soon, you're going to be able to get some copies to our music there. You can check out podcast shit there, obviously. We are eventually going to have some extra content on there as well. But also, if you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, if you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, or if you're interested in booking me for something, whether you want to book me for a gig as a fill-in, or you want me to come on your podcast or any of that shit, you can start going to jaredsinger.com in order to get in touch with me or stay in touch or to keep up to date on things. We just launched it. There is content on there, but it's not completely finished yet, so whatever. Anyways, this episode of the podcast is sponsored by, you guessed it, you already knew it was coming, Shooter Lube, America's best gun care system. It's a 2-stage cleaning system. First stage is the military-grade cleaning solvent. The second stage is the extreme weapons oil. With the new technology, you guys, we have you cleaning your gun better than ever. Our solvent is designed to penetrate deep into the metal, cleaning carbon buildup in less time than other leading solvents. You can feel good knowing that you're cleaning your firearm with a product that passed military testing. I got buddies who laugh at that statement, military testing, but it is good. It's legit. I use this shit on my own weapons. I love it. Your firearm maintenance, you guys, it should not be banished to the garage or outside because of harsh chemicals and smells that other solvents use. Shooter Lube military-grade weapons cleaning solvent is simply the best. It's odorless, no water, fully evaporates, leaves no residue, no hazardous ingredients per the EPA, has a high flash point, non-corrosive, and does not freeze, and it's also non-flammable. Okay, the extreme weapons oil, this shit's a little different, you guys. With the new cutting-edge technology, we're creating a new level of gun lubrication and protection. Unlike many other gun oils that just sit there on the surface, the extreme weapons oil penetrates, guess where, guys? Deep into the pores of the metal. It forms a bond on and in the metal that does not wipe off, wear off, melt, or evaporate with heavy use. You can feel confident using your weapon to its fullest potential, knowing that it is fully protected from wear and corrosion. It's biodegradable, non-flammable, non-toxic, 100% synthetic, low odor, non-staining, and it offers rust and corrosion protection and reduces wear and friction. Shooter Lube is also offering free shipping on all orders over $35, guys. They also offer 100% money-back satisfaction guarantee and online support. If you guys are ever frustrated, confused, if anything doesn't work out, reach out. They will make it right. Great company. Love working with these guys. And make sure that you join the revolution by going to shooterlube.com and using promo code SINGER to save 10%. Our podcast today is also sponsored by Werner Elements, your partner in growth. Listen, guys, you need a website, social media, and a way to best represent yourself these days in order to break out from the crowd. We can help you with that, whether you're just starting a business, you're a comedian, you're a musician, you're an artist trying to showcase your talents, or maybe you're a podcaster trying to get the buzz going. We offer websites starting as low as $400. And we also offer weekly, monthly, 6-month social media management packages. Let your business work for you. Mention promo code SINGER and get 10% off your first contract with us. Your one-stop shop for all your creative needs. WernerElements.com. Yes, we can do that. Again, go to Werner Elements, that's WERNER Elements.com, and use promo code SINGER and save 10% off your first contract. They also do offer free consultations as well, you guys, so you can talk to them. They'll give you a free consultation, and when you decide to sign with them, use promo code SINGER to save 10%. Also, if you haven't already, guys, please slap that thumbs up, smack the subscribe button, and punch that notification bell like it owes you money. That way you know when we post new content. It also helps the channel a ton. Not even gonna lie, it really does. And if you're listening just on audio or any of the other streaming platforms, please hit follow or subscribe. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave a 5-star review as well. It really does help the podcast grow. If you guys are feeling extra frisky, you can join. You can subscribe to our Patreon by going to patreon.com/JaredSingerLive and joining for as low as $2.99 a month. That's less than $3 a month, you guys. You can also follow me on any of my social media accounts. It's Jared Singer Live everywhere. Make sure to go visit jaredsinger.com. My guest for the podcast today is my boy Tim Sieler, aka Tim Brady. Known this dude for quite a while. He's not like, we're not like buds, but we've always been always had a mutual respect in the music scene with each other. He was originally from when I met him. He was in a band called 30 Seconds. No, not 30 Seconds. It was just Seconds from the Surface. Sorry. Excuse me. I had to set something down. He was in a band called Seconds from the Surface. And then when my band broke up, he recruited my drummer, Pat. And Pat and him started a band called Ambassador Gun. And I think Ambassador Gun, if I remember right, they were signed to Prosthetic Records for a while, and I don't know what happened to that. We'll get into that, I'm sure. And Pat's coming on in a couple weeks, so I'm sure we'll get into it with him as well. But just an all-around sweet dude. If you're in a band with Pat, you're probably fucking rad as well. So never had a bad interaction with this guy. Always had a ton of respect for him. He's now in a band called Cobra Czar. So let's welcome to the podcast our guy, Tim Sieler, a.k.a. Tim Brady, to the podcast. Three, two, one. Boom, shakalaka. We are live. Tim, sir, cheers. Thank you for doing
indeed.
this.
How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you being here. You look good, man.
Absolutely.
As much as we party, the two of us,
man,
we should look like shit.
No kidding.
What are you doing? What's your secret?
Oh, man. Little black label, little blacks. Keep it light.
You just keep it to the simple stuff?
Not all the time. Not all the time. But
I feel like when guys go dark, when they go super hard, like when they quit drinking beers and they just go to Jack, that's when you get problems. When you start doing just the booze.
That could turn into issues.
Every person who is an alcoholic. Wait, let me rephrase this. Not all alcoholics only drink booze, but all people who only drink booze are alcoholics.
Well, yeah.
That's
usually.
My opinion. Let's see if we got this working. Go ahead, Tuck.
Hello.
There we go. That actually looks pretty decent. Maybe
Can you hear me now?
Now I don't need to worry about it. It's the automatic scene switcher, so I don't have to worry about it. So when you talk, it'll take over.
Oh, nice. Hello. Oh, look at that.
Isn't that cool?
Tight.
Yeah. Now, some would say that's very innovative and genius of me to do that.
I'm
going to confess, it's because I'm lazy.
Well,
I don't want to do it.
You'd have to kind of sit here the whole time, like beep, beep.
For the first several podcasts, you actually can see my left hand permanently resting on this thing. And then if you really pay attention, you can actually see my fingers moving every time I want to switch between us talking. And then I'd go to the bathroom and forget, and I'd leave the camera on me. So while you're sitting here talking, I'm in the bathroom. It's the camera sitting on my empty chair.
Oh, my
Fucking
God.
Amateur hour.
Well, you probably were good at video games. And there you go.
I'm surprised anybody watched the show. And I'm surprised anybody seen the show and was willing to come on. So again, cheers and thank you, brother.
Indeed, indeed.
So we got another guest coming. So you play guitar in this band. We're gonna get to your story here in a second. You play guitar in this band, correct?
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
He is the
bass player
for Cobra Czar, but he's running late, so we're waiting for him.
That might be him. Now. I think we got him.
He's here now.
Front or side door?
Front door. There isn't a side door.
You want me to go get him, or should I?
Just tell him to knock. My wife will let him in.
All right.
My wife will direct him down here. She'll direct him down here.
All right.
So yeah, we're just kind of stalling and waiting for him to get down here. But yeah, so for people that don't know who you are, kind of just to briefly explain, because you're a multi-talented, multi-instrument musician. You're not one of those guys who's just one thing. You've done everything. You played guitar and sang in one band. I've seen you play drums in another. I mean, I've seen you do everything, dude.
Yeah. What band did I play drums in?
I feel like it was one of your own bands.
I feel like
it was Seconds from the Surface.
Maybe it was I think we had drums on stage as yeah, in A Second from the Surface, we totally did. It's funny you remind me of that. But we actually had totally whatever congas on the stage that we'd kind of.
I swear I remember you playing drums for one of your bands.
Boy, that may have been
an encore. There he is.
What's up? How you doing?
Better late than never.
Take a seat.
Can I just say?
Have a seat, bud. Can you just say? You can just say, as long as you actually finish that sentence.
Can I just say, I don't feel tardy?
I don't feel tardy.
You're right on time.
Hey, all right.
The teacher is tardy.
All right, just make sure you ride that mic real close.
Hey,
There you go.
all right.
Now we can start the party.
I know. As a bass player, you're not used to.
I don't hear anything. I don't hear myself,
Oh,
which
that's
is normal as a bass player.
he should be.
I don't hear myself.
He should be 3.
Cool. I'm up now. Thanks.
You got all of us.
Yes.
Good to go. If you want, you can throw those in the mini fridge behind you. The
Rock and
brown
roll.
one, not the silver one. Silver one's eventually going to be a kegerator for homebrew.
Nice. We'll just
Getting
drink
back
them
into
fast.
homebrewing. You'll just drink them fast. So yeah, I swear to God, I remember you doing all this stuff. But just briefly, for people that don't know your story, explain kind of who you are, what you do, all that kind of good shit.
Yeah. So guitars with Cobra Czar. You know, we've been kind of rocking with it for, I guess, 3 years now. Kind of creeping on a little more than that, 3.5-ish. But yeah, just kind of started off real small, just kind of me and Mikey putting riffs together. Lions kind of came in a little bit afterwards. Fischetti was shortly before him, and started with CJ, our old drummer. But lately we've just been kind of, really working in new material. A lot of real kind of, just chill sessions where we can, work on new stuff, like record new stuff, and, really just kind of take it slow with the group. But it's been a lot of fun lately.
So what other bands have you been in case anybody doesn't recognize you from this group?
Well,
30. I always do this. I always go 30 seconds from the surface.
Let's mix up band names.
No, second. Was it a second from the surface, or was it seconds from the surface?
a second from the surface.
A second from the surface.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been fucking that one up too.
So a second from the surface turned into Ambassador Gun.
And that you were in with Pat Ruland, who's my old drummer, so a lot of
Yes.
people know him.
For sure.
And you were playing guitar and singing in that band.
Yep.
Or screaming.
Well,
I don't know if you could call that crap
I'd
singing.
say singing. I thought I was singing.
I'm just kidding,
Aggressive
dude. You're
singing.
better than I am, dude. Everybody's better than me. It's a
we
low
were,
bar.
We were just
It's a low
fucking-
bar.
We were just yelling. Everyone had a good time though. We basically just kind of hit the ground running with that one.
So
We're
Ambassador Gun did break up?
just, it's
Or did it just...
we're not playing right now. That's for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Are you guys
But,
still signed?
I don't know how that works exactly. I
You
should
weren't the guy that
probably-
handled that in the band?
I should probably check our contract. But no, dormant for the time being, but who knows?
Right on, dude. Okay, so for people that don't know you, sir, I'm just meeting you as well. Your name is Chris,
Yes.
and you play bass in Cobra Czar.
Play bass in the Cobra Czar.
Do you slap a bass?
I can slap if it calls for it, or if it's being bad.
Really?
Yeah, if it's misbehaving, you can slap it. But for the most part, my basses behave pretty well. So
Hold on,
do.
I'm going to do something because you're super quiet. I'm going to try to turn you up at least in
yeah,
my
I'm at the end of
monitors.
the day, so maybe I'm a little quiet. Who knows?
Yeah, well, that's where we like the bass.
Yep.
No, it
You
was
Turn
don't
it down.
need a whole
It was
lot
just
of bass.
it was just down in the monitors.
But yeah, so yeah, we're just meeting.
Yeah, we've never met before. So
No.
how long have you been in the scene? Have you done other bands?
I've been around for like 10 years. I moved here 10 years ago. I joined A Moment Without, and then
Oh, with fucking hold on, don't tell me. Is that James Sanders' band?
you bet it is.
Fuck, I remember
Love
that
him.
kid. He's coming on the podcast soon.
Awesome.
Everyone's coming on
He
the
should
podcast.
be.
Everyone's coming on the podcast. I know everyone. I have such a fucking weird life, not to cut you off. But
No,
I was
you're
just-
awesome.
I was just talking to this. Okay, so check this out. I got married in Jamaica 3 years ago. I met this dude named Phil. Now, him and his wife got married on the same day at the same resort as we did. And I became buddies with him, stayed in contact with him. And I'm actually going to visit, going down to Texas. And I'm going down there to scout podcast locations because I'm going down there to interview a bunch of former NFL players, including Mike Singletary from the 85 Bears.
Oh, fun.
And I was on the phone with them, dude. And I was just like, I'm sitting there talking to him, and all of a sudden it hit me, and I go, dude, how weird is this? I'm a fucking basically a failed musician. Not really, but you know what I mean, right? And I'm going to Texas to interview football players. And I'm going to hang out. A second. It's got to reset. Hold on. There it is. Okay. So I hate my fucking space. I don't know why it's doing that. But and I'm like, dude, how fucking weird is this? I'm a musician going down to interview football players for my podcast in Texas. And I'm going to hang out with the dude I met in Jamaica. Like, I have a weird fucking life, dude. I know
weird.
everyone. Like, it's so fucking weird. And some of these names I can't even drop because it's like they haven't 100% confirmed. That's one of the reasons I'm going down there is they want to meet me. They're like, I've seen your podcast. I'm down to come on, but I still want to, like, meet you. I'm like, of course, dude. Yeah. Fucking, I want to meet you too, you fucking weirdo. I've never talked to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's my show. You're not the only one. But yeah, it's so weird because like all these names keep getting brought up. Pat, oh yeah, he's coming on the podcast. Oh wait, you were in that band with Sanders? Oh, he's coming on the podcast. Everybody's coming on the podcast.
Everyone's coming on the podcast.
So you came up, you were in a moment without. Did you play bass in that band as well?
I did.
Slap at the bass.
Pretty much all I've done in all the groups.
So you're a bass player.
I guess
you're a real bassist.
I'm attempting.
Are you a guitar player who plays bass?
No, definitely not.
He's not that.
Definitely not that. Yep.
There's a huge difference.
Bass.
Do we want to
I was a
explain to
guitar
people?
player that played bass.
Let's explain to people what the difference is.
Well, I had one in my pocket earlier, but I actually wore new pants to the session. But it's about a pick, usually.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's not always, but usually the guitar players that play bass play with picks. And that's okay, because I like that.
Here's how let me rephrase that statement. Here's what I say. Guitar players who play bass can't play without a pick.
Yeah.
Real bass players do play with picks, but they can play without.
That's
how I would define it.
That's a great way to define it.
I would also say it's the way they scale, right? So a guitar player who plays bass, when he scales, he walks all the way up the neck. A real bassist climbs the box to hit the same notes.
That makes sense.
And he stays in a pocket. Even when he slides up the neck, he's scaling like this. A lot of guitar players scale like this when they're trying to do shit.
Gotcha.
That's what I noticed. These are just I'm not trying to claim facts or anything, but these are the discrepancies I noticed where I'm like, you ain't a real bass player. You're me.
If I was going to describe
like you just said, right?
If I was going to be weird about
as a bassist,
as a bass player, I would say it's an approach mindset.
Sure.
Like
what do you elaborate?
Like a melodic approach or whatever you decide to do, whatever fits the song. Not ripping on a guitar player. A guitar player is going to be like, yeah, well, this is the thing that sounds cool. This is what the guitar's doing, so I'm going to play this too. And I definitely do that. But a bass player will be like, this is a good spot for a fill, maybe. Or I'm going to slap it here.
Yep.
Or I'm going to use a pick on this song. Just nerd.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I felt like I got that in certain bass players I've played with, whether I was playing drums or I was playing guitars or even if I was singing in a band. Like when you got a real bass player, the whole thing changes. The whole band changes. The rhythm section gets better, gets tighter, gets more precise. The bass player learns how to really follow the kick drums instead of the rhythm of the guitar player. And then, he'll match up his notes and shit, but like a real bass player, when you isolate that track, if you played that for somebody, it's not like Metallica for whom the bell tolls. Dun, 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 dun,
right.
Dun, 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 dun. It's its own riff. It's a completely own riff that nobody would ever notice unless you already knew.
They're so weird.
Bassists?
Did they do
so weird
bass on that song?
With the beard in the wind.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bass players always have a beard. I love that. If you look at like metal band photos, you're like, that guy plays bass because his beard is the biggest and he needs more attention.
And the guy who's clean shaven is always either the drummer or the singer.
Yeah.
If there's a clean shaven band member, it's almost always the drummer or the singer, or the shittier of the two guitar players. You ever notice that one too? Like the band's really good, you really like it, and then like it's clear one of the guitar players isn't very good, and that's the only guy with short hair and a clean shaven face. Everyone else looks like
I'm
a biker.
gonna start paying
gang.
attention to that one.
No. You'll never see Mikey with no beard.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, no, it does make a difference, like you're saying, to have a real bass player. Like, back in the day, Ambassador Gunn did a lot of bass. We kind of switched off. Luke and I both doing bass. But now it's like after the song's written and I, mess with it with the group and we come back and listen in in the studio and I'm actually hearing a bass line or it's just like, wow, that's not just the guitar chugging along. It's like,
oh yeah.
It's kind of refreshing. And that's sort of the spot that we're in right now with the with the Cobra
With the
Czar.
Cobra Czar.
It's just
How
kind
would
of
you-
slowly starting to approach that. So
I hate this fucking question. I hate asking it, and I hate being asked it. But we have to do it. How would you describe your music? Like what genre? It's obviously metal-ish. It's metal-esque, right? Would you call it like sludge metal, doom metal? Like where would you pigeonhole it if you had to? You got 7 words to use.
I think I got one.
Go for
You want it?
yeah,
I would say if you had a bunch of Zeppelin riffs that you put through a huge bong and then asked Phil Anselmo, will you sing over this? That's Cobra Czar to me.
that's pretty good.
Okay, so that's describing the sound, but if you had to peg it, like when you put it in iTunes, what do you put it
a
as?
specific term?
Like a genre.
Like
and I hate this. I
Bon
hate doing
Jovi
this.
shit. I mean, straight Bon Jovi
Bon
shit.
Jovi shit.
I don't know.
Swinging butt rock?
Well,
We're pretty
No, is
good
it like
about-
sludge metal,
it's
doom
fucking,
metal,
it's
stoner
heavy metal, but like it's heavy metal, but we're still like 90s heavy metal fans. I still love my
yeah.
Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, fucking
Well, let's do this.
but I still
Since
love,
you guys can't give me a straight fucking
We
answer to
can't
save
give
your
you a
lives.
straight answer,
Jesus
no.
Christ. Good thing I don't have a gun to your head.
Yeah.
You'd both be dead. let's just
No,
play a
we'd still
clip.
be talking.
We'd still be running our mouth. Let's play a clip. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to play this clip. I don't know what order I have these in. You know
just
what?
rattled
Actually,
off a bunch of bands. That's awesome.
That's all right.
here we go. I think I do know what order these are in. So let me turn the media player on, and here we go. This is You Guys, and I don't remember what song it is.
Hey-o.
It's got to be good. It's probably
It's got to be good.
it's got to be
Gotta
good.
be good.
It's got to be a hit.
I'm sure it's going
It's
to be
probably a fucking hit.
nice. It's working. I'm the man.
Oh, this is our first hit.
Faith in
Numero
failure.
uno.
It is working, I promise. It's just taking forever. And I really don't understand why.
Got to load the power.
I think it's because we're tuned so low, it takes extra time to buffer. That must be like the YouTube setting.
That's definitely it.
Yeah. There it is.
As soon as I was like, oh, it's my turn to go on someone else's podcast, all those same anxieties kicked in that a lot of the people, my guests, have told me about. So I was like, oh, I get it now. I totally understand. I need to do a much better job of sympathizing and like making you guys comfortable and feeling at home. Because there's nothing that us as podcast hosts do to make you guys uncomfortable. But there is a lot we can do to make you more comfortable, right? And like just me going on Greg's podcast just opened my eyes as to how my guests actually feel.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, quit tripping, man. Just fucking come and hang out, dude. Which is probably what they need to hear. But now that I had that weird little, and I had to be like, dude, you've done 70 episodes. You can go on his podcast. You don't need to worry about what you're going to, but I did all the things that all my guests do. Hey man, what are we going to talk about? Like, I want to be prepared. And I had to check myself. But basically, point being is like, I really understood what it's like to be you guys. So yeah, all of this was little tiny tweaks and just trying to get it to be a more comfortable space. And
yeah, it's killing.
If we got to do a little fucking Drankson to take the edges off.
Jesus is here. I mean,
Jesus that's my
just
homeboy.
all right with me.
That's my homeboy, dude.
Yeah, so
he's cool. And people that have a problem with it, I always ask him, I'm like, what's wrong with a dude who went around the world helping people and preaching love? You know, like all the problems you have are what other dudes have done since then in his name.
Carpenter.
Take it up with them.
He was a carpenter.
He built chairs, man.
He was a fucking zombie. Everybody's got to appreciate that too. So
I want to create a Christian metal band called Water Walking Zombie Messiah.
I'll be at the first show.
How about you just be the bass player?
How much do I have to practice?
I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one. It depends on how much I want to practice.
If that's the answer, then you could probably sign me up. I'll see you at the first show.
No rehearsals.
I'll see you at the gig.
You'll just know. It'll
happen.
Christ given.
I'll bring a pick.
Yep. It'll be. It's your God-given ability.
I play bass. I actually don't have to practice. I just play, and it happens.
It just comes from your soul.
No one's listening.
So that song is your newest single? The one we just played? The video we just played?
I suppose.
I thought you said it was your latest hit.
Yeah, so we did a 3-song deal in 2019.
Yeah.
and that is the video that came out of it. Java produced it. Tim Java, by the way.
Shout out to Tim Java, who's
Peace
watching
out.
right now.
Hey,
He's in the
oh.
chat. Shout out to Tim Java.
Java.
Did an awesome job with that. We did like a three song little deal, and that was kind of our first release. We did 50 records with new Hex, and it's like a little kind of local deal, and it worked out awesome. And I think we still have a lot of those 7 inches. We still have a few left, so they're out there.
Nice.
But it's cool to kind of start small. You don't want to be doing a big ass record right off the bat. You do a few, and it's kind of fun. So that was the video that came from those 3. That we
Yeah,
started with.
I think you're onto something, and it's actually taken me quite a bit to resist doing a full album. Because I started off, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to do a 3-song EP, and then it was 4, and then it was 5, and now I think it's 6 with an intro, so it's technically 7 tracks.
Yeah.
It's like, that's half an album already. Like, and it was going to be a full album, but then halfway through writing it, my style changed. Like, literally the same songs I was writing, like the way I was writing them, the way I was expressing the riffs and everything changed. And the second half of the album didn't sound anything. The first half of the album sounded like a local band, and the second half of the album sounded like a real band. And I was like, okay, so we're starting over. And I noticed it right away, like within 2-3 songs. And that's when I was like, okay, we'll just do like a 3-song EP. Fuck that old shit, we'll do this. And then that also grew to 7 songs. But I think you're right. I think it's really dangerous to try to get out there and do a fucking 12-song EP. Epicurean preached that. They did that great album, got signed to Metal Blade, and they were like, we would have been way better off just doing an EP and doing some other shit. I'll have to talk to Gensmer again before I try to speak for him, but I remember him talking about that in the past. Like, full albums, especially nowadays with streaming,
Full albums nowadays don't seem to be a thing that a lot of people are doing.
I mean, yes, doing a record is badass. Having like a 12-inch with like 45 minutes worth of music, hell yeah. But the thing is, releasing that stuff slowly, do a single, do an EP, right. Do another single. It's like we're also on our phones every day anyways, where it's like people would rather see a new video from you on their phone rather than go buy your record. And it's like, if that's,
and Jesse Weber from the Failsafe brought up a great point, because this kid's smart. We were the guys that taught him a lot of stuff, and now, like Pat, like I kind of taught Pat the ropes when he came into the scene, and then like Pat, Jesse went on to do way more than I've done, in some respects at least. And Jesse was telling me, like, with the Spotify thing, when you release an entire album, you get to submit 1 track for these like legit playlists, and if you get featured on one of these playlists, you're pretty much guaranteed to blow up. Like, it's a featured playlist that Spotify pushes to people.
Yeah.
So he was like, if you release an album, you only get 1 track off that album to do that. So what you do is you release everything as a single.
Dang.
Because then every single can be submitted for any of those playlists.
Gotcha.
I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant.
That makes
brilliant.
Makes other bands' Spotify's make a lot more sense.
Right, because you only see 2 or 3 songs on this album, and then it's like they have 40 songs out on 30 albums, and you're like, what is going on?
Well, it's so hard too. Like, how many people have a mindset? Like, I feel like I'm a band weirdo. Like, if your band releases an album, I am gonna sit down and I am gonna listen to it from start to finish.
I try to as well.
I'm a total nerd about it.
If I'm into your band, that's how I experience it.
Exactly. Yep. If I want to do it, that's what I'll do.
Even streaming, I still do that.
Yeah. But if it's one song.
You sat down when you first got here. We had about a half hour. First thing I did, because I was listening to it on the way home, is I fucking plugged in my thing, because I was my phone, and I put it on the monitors while we were getting ready, because I was listening in the middle of listening to a Protest the Hero album in its entirety, and I just wanted to keep that ride going because I was on that vibe, So there's very few bands that successfully create those albums, but I still do that to this day.
You're searching for that.
When you give me an album and I'm like, I'm going to check this out, I start with track 1, I listen to it, and I listen to the whole thing. And if by the end of it I haven't found 1 song, I'm like, okay, I'm in. Then you're done. Like, you're out of the rotation, and I moved on with my life.
Yep.
That's how fans react.
But how many people have that mindset these days?
All of them. That's what I'm saying. That's how fans react.
Yeah. But how many people just want to hear one song?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even get a song. You might get a
30
get a few seconds.
Yeah.
You know? It's click culture, but honestly, it's not a bad thing either because it kind of weeds out a lot of bad stuff too.
And it also allows you, because the reality is with the streaming shit is people get mad about exactly what you said. It's click culture.
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't even get a fair pass. Well, yes, true, because on the radio, people can't fast forward, right? They can switch stations,
Yeah.
but most of the time they just like, oh, I fucking hate this song. Maybe they'll turn it down or just walk away. But you only have the reach of the literal wattage that radio station can push out.
Yeah.
You're limited to a geographical reach. When you put it on Spotify or iTunes, you get 8 billion consumers worldwide. So your job is no longer to worry about getting more than 30 seconds from the average listener. Your job is just to try to put your music into the algorithm properly to where you pop up in front of as many out of 8 billion as possible that are predisposed to like your genre of music. So you shouldn't be pushing your music to Christina Aguilera fans. Obvious.
Well,
right?
We should be, but
right? But
you should see him in his swim trunks.
But maybe if you can figure out how to get yourself on the right playlists on Spotify where metalheads are going, I want to listen to new, real metal, not that fucking Five Finger Death Punch bullshit on 93X. I want real fucking metal. They go to Spotify and your song's on Spotify. You got a real fan. That's somebody seeking out music and Spotify or iTunes threw you in these featured lists. If you learn how to, I'm not saying you have to do it this way. I'm saying if you can learn how to play that game, you can make it instead of a detriment to your career. You can actually use it as an advantage and use it for leverage.
You're totally right, and that's the perk of it. Is there are the real fans out there who are looking for it, and when they find it,
yep. I think most of them start as kids, but there are still guys like us that are looking at 30 years old, 40 years old. They're still looking for another band. Like, dude, I'm burnt out, man. I need a new band. Give me some new music. And we go out of our way to find it. I haven't found a good new band that I'm really into probably 5-6 years.
And I think people like that, people like us, we're not loud. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's almost something shameful about promoting when you're
not necessarily that. Like when you were 18 and 19 and 20 years old, I bet we were all loud. I know you were
I'm
loud.
still loud.
Yeah. I'm still loud a little bit now and then, but we weren't as loud about it.
You seem way nicer than me about it though. Like you smile a lot. I can already tell by your vibe. Like when you get loud, like when I get loud, it's way different vibe.
That's good. No, that's good. I got multiple personalities I can pull out, but
me too.
There's like, yeah, there's,
I'm like
it's
an
a
onion.
different,
I have
it's
layers.
a different thing. Exactly. Right. But yeah, I don't know. We're older and we know what we like. We're not like, you got to listen to this right now. This is the shit. And we're like it with our friends, but we're not like it to everybody and ramming it in their face.
You guys have both mentioned that you've checked out the podcast a little bit, and I've been starting to get a little shit from some of the metal community because I keep preaching this thing about like making money and staying profitable and all that. And a lot of guys are starting to come after me and be like, dude, it's not always about making money. Well, I'm going to double down on this because I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm always willing to accept criticism, and if you want to tell me I'm wrong, I'll listen and I'll think about it for weeks on end. But I'm not backing down because I thought about this. What is the number one reason you lose a great band member? Because we're broke and they're suffering. And no matter how much they love being on the road and being in a band, they fucking miss their family. They're broke. They're fucking miserable. They're hungry. They got fucking dental care they need, and there's no money coming in for them to do that. The worst thing that can happen to a band is you go on the road and it costs you $2,000. That's because you're not running your business. Like, at least at a minimum, make it so it doesn't cost money to be in your band. So it's not a fucking sink like a kid or a mortgage or something where somebody has to value it. And they go, hey, here's the thing is like, I have to either treat this like my kid or I have to treat my kid like my kid. Now they have a choice to make. And that's how they leave your fucking band, because you're losing and hemorrhaging money and they can't sustain a quality life with that. That's why I'm going down this road, because, okay, fine. Let me back off my stance and say we don't all need to be rich and famous like Metallica or even Misery Signals or Protest the Hero. But is what we should be aspiring to doing is every time we want to print t-shirts, we don't have to worry about like, dude, I'm just going to say bass player. I'm not pointing the finger at you, but like, dude, our bass player can't afford the $100 he needs for his share of the $400 worth of run on t-shirts. Like, you should be making enough off shows and touring and merch and all that other shit to be able to, like, we want more t-shirts. Okay, let's just buy them.
Yeah.
And I've also seen bands try to do the whole thing and then go into debt. And that's literally why the Stasia, famous local band, was like the next band right behind Head Charge. They were going to pop. Like, they had all the national attention. They were getting all the opportunities. That band broke up because they were in debt. They literally pulled out credit cards to make their machine run, and they still weren't able to generate enough income. And the fucking band broke up because of it. If we can figure out a way to get rid of that problem, I think a lot more of us can stay together. And the reason that's important is because if we stay together, we put out more good music. That only helps all of us, right?
Well,
it would idea, boom.
Honestly, it'd be fantastic if we could. Yes, but the thing is, I mean,
I love how you sat there and waited though, and waited, and then you're like, well,
this is a great Tim response.
You know as well as I do. Like, it's you know, it's not tough to find to find a group like, oh shit, we got a sweet show here. We need one band. We got 3 nationals. We need one band. Is it hard to find that band? No. You know, what do you have to pay that band? Nothing. So, I mean, people get used to that, and it's just like,
I agree, and I don't think
we did this show for nothing, but hey, we play with these guys, and
but
these
I think
guys,
that's our
sweet,
fault.
and it was like,
I think that's our fault. We have devalued our art. So, for example, let's look at the photography industry. So you hear this from any photographer you've ever met. I couldn't get a fucking job when I asked for $50 an hour. When I started asking for $500 an hour, I started getting work. But as soon as I had the balls to ask for $5,000 an hour, I started shooting NFL games. I started shooting Beyonce concerts. I know, like, literally dozens of photographers who preach this. Like, when you undervalue yourself, when you put out the vibe that you're willing to play for free because you're just a metal band and you're willing to play for just the opportunity, for just the love of music, then those are the only opportunities you're going to get.
Makes sense.
Every single band I joined, the moment I took over booking, our minimum requirement was to play a show was $200. Guess what happened? We got more show opportunities, not less. We got bigger show opportunities, not smaller ones. So it's the fear. And this is what sales guys go through. Like, I remember this because I was a very successful salesman. I remember going from asking for a $50 to $100 sale and jumping into the big leagues of construction where you're asking for a $10,000 to a $20,000 sale. The number one thing that made a sales guy fail was his inability and insecurity to ask for that dollar amount. It's called selling or buying with your own wallet.
Right.
You're not asking for $20,000 of your money. You think 20 grand is a lot to replace your roof, but this dude knows it costs 20 grand and he wants to spend 20 grand and he's ready to spend 20 grand. So when you're going and hemming and hawing and you go, you know what? I don't think he's going to spend 20 grand, man. We should only try to charge 12. Oh, we're only going to make $2 grand profit. Yeah, but da-da-da-da-da. And then here's the thing is he hears, oh, 12? How many corners are you cutting? Because I definitely don't want the cheapest heart surgeon. I don't want the cheapest roof put on my house. I don't want the cheapest, shittiest band that isn't going to give a fuck. Because if you're not getting paid, why would you promote? If you're not getting paid, why would you try to bring people?
Because to have the opportunity. And
that's, as a business owner, though, this is what I'm thinking.
No, honestly, as a business owner, I get it. But as a group, for a guy that's, sat down and fucked with, all kinds of time in the studio, whatnot, you're gonna want to do what you have to do to get in front of an audience. And if you got to go play for free at like a major festival, or even buy on, like I haven't had to, ever do that really, but like I get it because
I agree that there is
so much
time
work
and a
into
place
that
for
art.
those
You
things.
put so much work into that record, and like you want to be able to, you want to be able to promote it. You can't just be like, well, we need $2 grand to do it. Like, we don't know who the fuck you
So
are.
let me
We
ask
can
you
give you
this.
shit for it. Like,
So let me ask you this.
that's why people do it. I mean,
Here's how I look at this. I give you guys, Cobra Czar, an opportunity to open on an entire full-fledged tour for Metallica. But you're not getting paid. Do you take the gig? It's
in
30,
a heartbeat.
It's 30 cities.
In a heartbeat.
It's 30 cities.
I
You
could
don't have to
say you
finish
could
the
charge
sentence.
me. You could charge me 10
Okay.
grand because for that, for Metallica, I mean, are you kidding me? It's like Metallica is what the world thinks heavy metal is.
Okay,
you know?
first of all,
It's
this
like-
would never
it's-
happen. Metallica would
But I'm
pay
just
you,
saying-
but
Hey, we
But
can
I'm
all
just saying,
dream.
here's
Let's be
hypothetically,
Here's the
Metallica
only
is
way
like
you
what
should
the
say
world
yes.
thinks that.
The
you
only
know?
way you should say yes is this in this only. We have a strong enough business model to sustain ourselves, because you could go bankrupt on a 30-city tour opening for
yeah.
Metallica. The hotels, you're playing in downtown New York at Madison Square Garden. You ain't getting no $60 hotel room. Like
$60, you can't get $60 per diem on a Metallica show.
You could sleep in the van.
Again, the hypothetical situation is that we're throwing this show to you for free. Now, here's what I'm saying: if you can sell enough T-shirts
For free,
if you can
no
sell
per
enough,
diem?
if you can sell enough T-shirts, if you can sell enough merch, if you can fucking do all those other things, then yeah, you take that show, right?
Right.
But if your band is going to go bankrupt, you're going to get stranded on the road, you're going to develop a bad reputation because you can't make it to the next show on time, and you lose opportunities in the future. This is what I'm talking about, thinking about these things like business opportunities. Like, yes, we want to do this if we can fucking seize the opportunity. And I learned this from the Skywine boys. Rich Zazada taught me this. They won the Battle of the Bands and went and played in front of 30,000 people on X-Fest. The video is still out there. We're not talking the normal Minnesota Battle of the Bands shit where you like play some fucking bullshit side stage at Warped Tour. These guys won a legit fucking, you know what I'm talking about. These guys won a legit spot on the main stage, and the video's still on the internet. There's 30,000 people there.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And I go, that must have blown up your band. And he goes, nothing happened. And I'm like, how? How does nothing happen to your band when you play in front of that many people? And he goes, we didn't have the ability to take advantage of the opportunity. We played in front of 30,000 people, and as soon as we were done, they didn't know who we are.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to buy our CD. They didn't know how to get in touch with us. They didn't know how to, they couldn't remember our name. So it was a wasted opportunity. It was nothing more than good experience for them. And where they benefited from it was not fans and record sales and merch sales and all, was network connections.
Yeah.
They met people.
Feeding the beast.
They went on tour with other bands. So there are reasons you play for free. There are reasons you buy onto shows.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when we're talking about the potential of anything more than a hobby, money is a factor, because the only reason I'm booking you to come to my bar is because you're going to bring people and they're going to buy booze and I'm going to make money. If you don't bring anybody and you treat it like a hobby, that tells me as a bar owner or a booker, right? My ass is on the line as the booker. I'm the one paying everybody. I'm going to lose money. Then I don't want to fuck with you.
See, and that's exactly the whole point, is the mindset. Is it a hobby for you? And that's, to me, if we're going to think about it, there's two things here. Number one, what is your goal as the group? What's the goal as a band? Are you a unit? Is it individuals? Are you doing it as a hobby? Number two, do you have the capability for the business model?
And
mindset.
that doesn't mean you have to become extremely rich and profitable, but it is what it does mean is that if you want to have opportunities in this industry, other people need to see you as an opportunity to, at a minimum, not lose money. Worst case scenario, they need to go, I can at least break even on this band.
Right.
And I'm only going to do that because I love them. I'm not going to lose money. And I can still make money over here, because nobody does anything in the world other than musicians for free. Like, we're the only assholes and fledgling comedians.
Fledgling
comedians will do free shit for exposure all the time.
It all comes down to how much work you want to put in. If you want to be the band that tours the world with Metallica, you're probably putting in a lot of work, and you're probably putting in a lot of research to the whole business mindset.
I'm just saying, let me put it this way, man.
Yeah.
I talked to the Reaping Boys, who are in the heaviest genre, you know, just like
They're
you
heavy.
guys, and they don't lose money on tour. They don't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they come back with $100,000 in their pocket, but like they run a tight enough ship, and look how long that band's been around.
It's if it's
even
what you want to
when
do,
they
you figure
turned
it
over
out.
members, the band still sticks around because the brand is a profitable machine that record labels, touring agents, or tour managers, booking agents, everybody's willing to jump on board with Reaping, because even if it's not the most marketable and the most profitable, people look at that band and they go, this is a business I want to invest in. And that's how the music business works. And I hate to break it to everybody, but there's way more business in the music business than there is music in the music business. And I've been preaching this for 20 years.
So I'm going to totally agree with you there. And I'm also going to put out there, Tim, I'm not throwing you under the bus here, but Tim and I, we are not businessmen.
I kind of wish your name was Eric, so I could just be like Tim and Eric.
Oh, next time. That's all right. Next time.
We could change his name.
Tim and I are, we could change it.
Please
it's okay.
tell me your middle name's Eric.
I just play bass, so my name doesn't even hardly matter. But
no, and I don't mean this to like
so
talk
mean.
down to
I'm
anybody
sorry. I would
or
never
preach
really
to
say
anybody. I'm saying this as a way to motivate people and go, this is why our scene collapsed, because there was too many people in control that didn't care about money. It really is. Because as soon as all the bands who didn't care about money were the good bands in town, all the bookers and fucking agents and shit were like, I'm not going to fucking book this band who just takes it as a hobby.
Do you think
Like, I wanna
bands
make
just
fucking
like
money.
think like, hey, you know, if we're good enough, eventually we're gonna make it. We're gonna see the turnaround. We're gonna see the money at some point.
Some
I don't know, but
short answer is yes. Some definitely think that.
On the other hand, it's just like, man, honestly, if you get the opportunity and you're in a group and you have the, you know, and you have the opportunity to go play, I think bands just want to go do it. And seriously, like, you got to think like the whole overhead for like a club bringing in a band. Like, the club's got to bring in a band, like a big touring band, whoever it is. It's not
So
cheap. It's not cheap for a
Adam
club.
brings up a great point. And this is exactly what I was just talking about with the Skywine Boys. So he says, playing a Metallica show at 30,000 people, 1% of those people, that's 300 people buying merch. Like, come on. Obvious, right?
You catch that?
I hope your t-shirt looks cool.
Here's my point. Do you have the ability to have enough money?
Do I? No.
No. The hypothetical. Okay. But you're doing 30 cities every other night, 300 shirts a night. Contemplate the amount of money you have to invest to either have that many shirts regularly ready to go, and holy fuck, 300 shirts times 30 shows. That's what, 9,000 shirts?
That is many t-shirts.
That's 9,000 shirts. So now you need...
How do you do that?
Now you need an entire trailer.
How do you do that?
Now you need an entire trailer.
No, it's a very good point.
That costs money. Or you need a network where you can reorder these t-shirts on a 48-hour turnaround and have them shipped to the next venue. Otherwise, you're going to run out of fucking shirts, and you're not going to sell any shirts at the next fucking venue, and then you're going to go broke. So this is what I'm talking about. This is why you have to
strategery.
Exactly. Or nowadays the smart kids pivot and it's all mock-ups, right? So you don't go to the fucking merch table and buy your shirt and walk out with it. Maybe you do, but there's a limited amount and they're high price. Is what you do is you scan a QR code.
We'll send it to you.
And you get it fucking mailed to you.
Okay, that's
boom,
cool.
Done. Now you can actually pull that off because they're all mocked up and they're printed and mailed. Boom, boom, boom. Now you can pull that off, but now your t-shirts are $40 instead of $20.
What if you have too many smalls? What if you don't have enough extra larges?
Yep.
Oh man.
Ordering 100 t-shirts and being stuck with how many fucking we never had enough. What was it? Mediums?
We never had enough.
What was the number
we
we
never
always
had
ran out
enough
with?
mediums when we were touring. We were like 22. But then we put out like our little record when
we
we
didn't
were
have
like
enough double
when we
XLs.
were mid-30s. The sizes changed. Like, we ordered a bunch of mediums. Like, oh shit, no one's buying them.
The older we get, the bigger our t-shirt
the demand of the sizes went up as we got older. That's genius.
Man, when we were 19, we sold a ton of smalls.
I would
Holy
remember
shit.
that.
I swear to God, when we were young, man, like, we couldn't order enough larges, and now everyone's asking for double XLs. Like, I don't get it, bro.
How'd that happen?
Man, I bet the pop punk genre sells a ton of extra small t-shirts.
Do you remember when we used to pull that game? So you'd order 100 t-shirts, and you couldn't afford your own batch of chick t-shirts, so you would just order an extra amount of smalls and sell those as women's t-shirts. Do you remember how we do that?
You
shit?
guys had girls at your shows?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. They looked like you, but gorgeous. They were gorgeous.
They look gorgeous. They have beautiful eyes.
Stop it. You're gorgeous.
I had gone home.
Curly
with me.
hair. They had curly hair. It was great.
Dude, you had beautiful women at your show.
A few of them. Not a ton, but hey.
We were talking about one of them before the show.
Oh, boy.
She was a god.
Yeah.
Still to this day, she is a babe. Oh, she is so beautiful.
Absolutely.
She knows we're talking about her right now.
They're
too.
around.
We're not going to name her name, but she might actually be watching this right now, and she's like, they're talking about me.
Well,
she knows.
Probably would if she's from Maple Grove.
Maplewood.
Or Grove.
I don't think she's from that area.
Grovewood.
That's just where we played.
I know she was one of the Maples.
Grovewood.
Hold on. I think it was Cottage something. Yeah.
I don't remember where she's from. Who cares? I also don't want to narrow it down and give anybody an idea who we're talking about because I don't know if she's.
So
okay with us talking about her.
and the whole thing, if you
But
can't
she
tell
was
from
gorgeous.
the look, if you can't
God,
tell
she was
from
beautiful.
the look on Tim and I's face, we're not great businessmen. We're not the business-minded ones of the whole thing.
I think
trying.
we all are, though. I think we really all
you have to
are,
be
though.
to a degree. Everyone has their
Oh, shit. Phil's calling me right now.
things they
Hold
bring.
on. I'm going to answer this phone call. This is, we were just talking about Phil.
What's up, Phil?
Phil, I'm on a podcast. I'm doing a podcast right now, and we were just talking about you. What's up?
Oh, that's fucking weird how the universe works, right?
Wait, is Phil
What's up, dude?
is Phil the pretty girl you guys were talking about?
No, man. I was just hollering back at you from your text earlier about rentals and shit.
Yeah, because I'm coming down to Dallas soon.
Right. That shit's a fucking scam, man. They fuck you every way you can fucking. Every time you get a fucking rental car, they fuck you. It says like, $25 to $35 or even $50 a day, and then on the backside they fuck you. Like I had it where I reserved it. It was only supposed to be like $250, $300 for like 4 days, and then by the time I was done with it, I was like spending it's like $600.
Dude, I'm noticing that. Like, I rent cars all over the country when I travel for every reason we've talked about, whether it's music or with my wife or podcasting or whatever. And dude, it's insane. Like, the rental car business, and I don't know if it's all of Texas or just Dallas, but it's like absurd. It's just to rent a car is more expensive than my plane ticket and my hotel.
That's crazy.
Like, just the rental car doubles my trip. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Have you tried that app, Toro?
No, I was just going to call you and ask you if you knew somebody I could slip them a hundo and borrow their car for a few days.
That's thinking right there.
Word, shit,
I'm fully insured. That's the thing is, like, I am fully insured. So, like, there's no risk. I just don't want to pay $350 for a fucking 12-cylinder truck for 3 days while gas is $3.50 a gallon. I get it. It's Texas, but it seems like unreasonable.
Yeah, right. I mean, my roommate has a truck. Might be able to help you out.
All right, let's talk. Let's talk.
All right.
I'll call you. I'll call you after the podcast. It's so weird that you called right now because we literally were just talking about you earlier.
That's funny.
All right, buddy.
Man. Well, holler at me later.
All right, love you, man. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, that's such a fucking small world. We were literally talking about it because I'm like, this shit's happening soon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to go down there first or second week of April.
I caught a dog.
Oh, that's my fat peanut.
Oh yeah, you stole your spot as soon as you walked.
Oh,
in.
that's her spot.
her spot. Okay, sorry.
Oh, that's her spot.
Yeah.
Put her on the mic.
Done. It must be warm, Tim.
She's very upset that she hasn't been on the podcast yet. But I just keep trying to tell her she's a great listener, but she just doesn't have a lot to say.
Wow,
happens. It happens.
But yeah, it's so weird that dude would call right now.
That's
like,
funny.
We just got done talking about him. We're talking about going to Texas, all this shit, and then he calls.
I would love to go to Texas one day.
We should just
Well,
do it as
maybe.
a road trip.
If we could take the Cobra to Texas, that would be more fun.
Take the whole band down there.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll have a business mindset. Maybe Cobra can. Maybe we'll get to travel.
It seems so obvious you guys should do something, especially with how topical our culture is on the Cobra Kai. But how do you guys feel that the Cobra crew is already a reaping thing? Like, do you guys think you could play on the Cobra Czar, Cobra Kai thing without stepping on their dicks?
You know what? We've never even thought about that.
No.
How? Do you live under a rock?
You know, if we're being honest, we kind of all live under a rock.
Have you guys seen Cobra Kai?
Not all of us. Yeah, I have. I think so. They run don't they run dual? They run dual heads, right? Both sides of the stage. If I'm thinking of the right
No,
group.
I'm talking about the show on Netflix, the Karate Kid Reboot.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no,
That
sorry.
is so fucking amazing.
I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah,
I've
we
heard
it
it's
is
good.
so good.
I've not seen.
It has the perfect amount of cheese, the perfect amount of nostalgia. The acting and writing are actually phenomenal.
Oh,
They poke fun at their own fucking shit within the show. Dude, there's this one part where, like, you're going to be watching the show and at some point you're like, this is so ridiculous. They're just having, like, open karate battles in the middle of the mall. Like, what's going on?
Why not?
Like, this is so unrealistic, which you would have never thought back in the 80s, by the way. And then, like, an episode later, they're like, yeah, what the hell's going on? I heard about this karate fight at the mall. I thought karate died in the 80s.
Okay.
It's so good, dude.
We should be capitalizing on this.
I think you should. Just figure out how to be creative and not step on the reaping dicks. Because I almost wore that shirt tonight, but I was like, that'd be weird to wear the Cobra Kai shirt from Reaping while you guys are on. That's a little too on the nose.
You know what? There's a lot of Cobras, and we got that.
So I went with the Vietnam,
right off
by
the
way.
bat. Honestly,
Cobras out there.
like full disclosure, the name of the band right off the bat was King Cobra, and King Cobra was it was an Ambassador Gun song, and
nice.
it was like kind of our like one of our flagships. But anyways, King Cobra, we're just like, fuck, it's King Cobra. We started playing, like, we came up with this fucking just stupid, dumb bomb, like, F tuning. We're like, oh, yeah, we call this shit King Cobra. It'd be sweet. And forever else we're going to do it until we found out there's an 80s band called King Cobra, and they're fucking, like, badass. They kind of suck, but go check them out. King Cobra, like, seriously, Cobra with a K. Like, that was the initial idea. It was King Cobra for a little bit. And then it turned into Cobra Czar. But anyways, I don't know what I was really getting at, but point being,
Oh, I was just
What are
asking if you're
Cobras?
fucking with the Cobra Kai theme at all.
no,
or if you
not
thought
being,
of it.
yeah, no, that's
I do think it's a cool name. I think it's easy to remember. It's super easy to spell because even Czar, as unique as the way that word is spelled, it's so common. I think everybody understands, unless you're a child, like an actual
we could have used the
child.
spelling with a T,
Who knows?
and
No,
yeah,
I
that would
like
have been
it.
really
I
crappy.
like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good band name, and I'm pretty critical of even guests that come on. I'll be like certain guys will come on. I'll be like, do you realize you've broken all the cardinal rules of band names? It's impossible to spell. It's hard to remember. Like, what are you
No,
doing?
there's a lot of shitty band names out there. Our band name really does rule.
You've always had
we
some
have,
pretty cool band names.
we kind of have. No, that's true.
A Second from the Surface is a cool fucking band name, even though I've been fucking it up for the last 10 years saying Seconds from the Surface.
We should note that I don't think anyone in our band knows any karate.
No, but we could try.
Yeah.
You should.
We could certainly
You should
try.
learn some.
It'll be better with a couple of beers first, but it's not going to be good.
You know,
karate.
the 2020 version of karate is jitsu, so we should do some jujitsu. I know a little jujitsu. I know some martial arts. We should get like a whole crew of dudes that go take a bunch of jujitsu classes, and we just film it, and we just make a bunch of crazy content. You guys can use it on your Instagram. I'll use it on mine, and it's just a bunch of us
Let's
just
do it at the mall.
in public.
Yeah, why not?
Dude,
We'll just do it at the mall.
we all go take like 6 months worth of jujitsu lessons and then just stage a giant jujitsu battle in the middle of Mall of America and just take over the food court.
It sounds like a lot of work.
We'll get John Wheeler to film it.
I
It
can't
sounds like
believe
a lot of work.
we
and-
haven't been
yeah.
snorting coke all night to have that idea brew up. But
I
yes,
need
I like
zero
it.
cocaine to come up with these kind of ideas, you guys.
As a
That
bass
is a good one.
player, I'd like to say it sounds like a lot of work, and I don't know if I'm invested in that amount.
What do
of
you
work.
say?
But it
Bass
sounds-
players are lazy?
I'm just saying that's hardcore. I mean, you gotta
Not all.
not
But you'll
like
be
I would.
super
I would
badass.
show up. I would
But
show.
dude, if you
I
can
would show
do
up if you made
jujitsu,
me.
you will be badass.
It sounds cool.
You'll be super badass.
I don't know if I'm cut out for it.
Do you know
but
what
I'll think about
jujitsu's
it.
about? Do you know
No.
what jujitsu's for?
It's so
Karate?
out of my realm.
Is it like karate?
Eddie Bravo said it best. No, jujitsu is about having the ability to kill people who are trying and have the ability to kill people. Okay? Like, and here's the brilliant thing about jujitsu. After one jujitsu class, you can literally handle probably 50% of grown men that exist. After one jujitsu class, one real jujitsu class, you will be able to survive and get out of situations with 50% of male adult humans where normally you would have no idea what to do. But
All
just
right.
after one legit lesson,
You got my attention.
you immediately have
Eddie
been able
Bravo
to
said
neutralize. Yes,
Let's do
Okay.
this.
about
This is
50% of just regular assholes out there, you can neutralize them.
Let's fucking jujitsu.
Dude,
Jujitsu.
I'm telling you, bro. And once the lockdown's done, I'm going back. I got a spot in Northeast, dude, with a
Okay.
real. He's coming on the podcast eventually. He's a real fucking Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. Like, he's legit, dude. He's in Northeast Minneapolis, right here. He's coming on the podcast
Mass
soon.
respect for that.
He's legit, dude. And that's the thing is, like, once you do it for a while, like a month or two, now you can beat 50% of the other assholes who have done some jiu-jitsu, right? So you quickly start putting the learning curve is like, and it doesn't take long for you to the only dudes who can actually really fuck you up and take you out are guys who really train and they really know what they're doing. And that
They can
percentage
probably
of
stop
dudes,
your heart with like a fucking finger move.
exactly,
Like,
Some dumb,
exactly.
dumber
But the
shit.
percentage of those guys becomes smaller and smaller. It becomes smaller and smaller. And like once you've done jujitsu for 2 to 5 years, like the only guys who can beat you are guys who've done it for 2 to 5 years or longer, right? And they're just taking it more seriously. They're more disciplined, things like that. But you'll be fucking fine in just normal.
I liked your
average
first steps.
every day.
I liked your first stat. Say that one more time.
Yeah, after one jujitsu,
After
one
one
real jujitsu
after one
class,
class.
one real jujitsu class, you can probably get yourself out of about any situation with 50% of any normal asshole adult male.
Let's go take a class.
See,
You got to get a real one.
Let's go take a class
put
and
it out
start a
there.
fight.
Not like
It's,
a free tutorial where they just like make your hips hurt.
If you were going to think of this from a teacher perspective, looking at Tim and I, we are the two guys who are in the back of the jiu-jitsu class who are not paying attention. we are cracking jokes. The guy said, do this, and we're laughing because he said do.
Yeah, and I'm literally
And
standing
we're-
next to you guys
yeah.
giggling. However, I'm listening, and I hope
And you're
he puts
doing-
us together
you're
because
doing
I'm
well.
gonna fucking embarrass
And
you.
Tim and I decided, let's get together before class around the corner, and we're gonna do a shot, and we'll slam a beer first too.
Yeah.
And then we're in there and we're not paying attention. We're joking around.
I do think we need to do
That's
this.
us.
I do.
They were
here's,
on our butts.
here's what I think.
Our butts.
Here's what
2
I think we
minutes.
need to do. We need to hook up with either my guy or someone else who will let a bunch of us come in and do some stupid shit like that. Like he knows we're going to be fucking doing a shot and slamming a beer before we come in. The whole thing's filmed. We get Stephen Lane from fucking Reaping. We get John Wheeler to film it, right? And it's just like us in there practicing jujitsu and just being complete idiots, like cracking jokes. Like I'll have one of you pinned and I'll kiss you.
Yeah, we won't have to
I'm gonna
try.
find the most
We won't
homophobic
have to
dude.
try. There you
I'm gonna
go.
find the most homophobic dude in the group, and I'm gonna wait till I have him pinned, and then I'm just gonna kiss him on the lips and watch him lose his fucking mind and not be able to get out, and just
I'll
hold
watch
him
it.
there, no matter how much he struggles, and just threaten to kiss him again. I'll kiss him once, only once, and then I'll get super close. Like when
You
your brother
don't
would
have
drop
to
the loogie.
travel too far outside the metro to find that guy.
Do you remember when your older brothers would drop a loogie? Luckily, I'm the oldest brother, but your brother would drop that loogie and
Oh,
get it
I
to
was-
almost
no,
hit your face and then
I
suck
was
it
the
back
older
up.
brother. No, I
That's
would
what
not,
I'm talking about.
I would I'd do the spit. That was terrible, and I would never drop the spit. But I would do the grass. So I'd pick the grass and I'd stick it in my little brother's nose. Oh my god, I was so terrible, so mean. But that's what I do. I could pin the shit out of
Yeah,
him. I
you
was
pin him.
5 years older. I was like, and now my brother's way bigger than me. He beat the shit out of me. Like, we got drunk when we were like fucking 20. Like, oh crap, no, I'm the smaller one.
Right.
But anyways, when I was
You can
bigger,
you can pull that
when
back
I
and
was-
stay comfortable. You don't have to lean down like you can pull that fucker all the
I'm
way
sorry,
back.
right
No,
here.
don't apologize.
But anyways, when I was little,
I feel bad because I keep seeing you go down. Like, don't be uncomfortable.
I totally did the grass move. You know what it is?
I never did that one, but
the
I know what you're
grass
talking
move,
about.
You pick grass and you were like, meh. You like lower the grass into their nose as you're like
so it
fucking
tickles.
tackling your younger sibling. It's a great feeling until they're bigger and they can beat the crap out of you.
So I was the big sibling, but I had an older aunt who tortured me like that when I
Yeah.
was a child,
Yeah.
and I warned her
Uh-oh.
for years. Someday, Bonnie, I'm gonna be bigger than you, and my parents thought both situations were hilarious. All the adults in my family thought it was hilarious. They thought it was hilarious that me, the athlete, the fucking the boy of the, because it's all girls, right, is getting owned by this woman. Hilarious. However, they would warn Bonnie. They'd go, Bonnie, you're going a little far. Like, Bonnie, you're going a little far. But they would never intervene. That's just not how our family is. They're like, nope, Jared's got to learn how to get out of this. He's got to learn all this shit. And one day, about 7 or 8 years old, it dawned on me, and I'm like about to piss myself. She's like tickle torturing me or something. And I'm like, Bonnie, one of these days, I'm going to be bigger than you. And I'm never, ever going to let you fucking forget this.
We gonna play
And
that
she
anymore.
She kept going for 4 more years.
Oh,
and then
okay.
one day I was strong enough and she had me pinned and I realized that and I flipped her and fucking went after her. And now she's an older woman. And but even her own mother, so my grandmother, like every adult in the family, I'll walk up to her and I'll poke her belly and I'll do the like Pillsbury Doughboy, and she gets so fucking mad. But even her own mother, my grandmother, will die laughing. And my mom, her sister, will go, Bonnie, he warned you 30 years ago. Someday he's going to be bigger than you. And she goes, God damn it! I knew this was coming and I couldn't resist when he was smaller than me.
Thank you for attending the life advice session.
I was just gonna. Such is life. I mean,
that's what your little brother can do now. Only the difference is you learned a while ago to stop fucking with him. She never did. She kept trying to fuck with me, and eventually, I'm just saying. Now I don't ever actually do anything mean, but I have a lot of fun. I just walk up and
that's the family part. It's fun.
Exactly. Oh man. She actually thinks it's funny too at this point because she realizes how much fun everyone else has, and so when you get an entire room of people giggling and laughing together, it's one of the most euphoric feelings on the planet.
Oh yeah,
we've all been a part of those. Like
you gotta have one of those in the family for sure.
You're hanging out backstage, maybe
infectious.
You're on tour, and you're hanging out with the right guy.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about Jeremy Blake earlier, he used to do that shit all the time.
Oh yeah,
like he would fucking like just somehow get the entire room just rolling.
Snowball.
Just oh my god,
Snowball.
It was so fun being in a band with that guy. And there was a couple other dudes in the scene like that too. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. We're a couple beers deep now, so the memory's slowly starting to fade, boys.
Yeah, she slips.
When Kyle Skolquist and Alex would get going on their puns, they'd do one of two things. They'd either chase people out of the room or they'd have people dying. I was always one of the dudes dying. I can't believe how many people don't like puns.
It's shocking. I feel it. I feel the pain.
I think it's great. I think they're like dad jokes too. You guys like dad jokes?
I'm a dad, so I like dad jokes.
Of course he does. Yeah, he loves them.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
You got any good dad jokes?
Yeah, I do. So,
I like how you had to clear your throat for this. Like it's a big one. Like it's a commencement speech.
Here it comes.
Excuse me, the people of America.
So why can't ghosts have babies?
I don't know.
Because they have Halloweenies.
Duh.
I love dad jokes.
That's good.
I got a buddy of mine who owns a brewery. He owned a shout out to Broken Clock here in Minneapolis, and he's super into dad jokes on like a trolling level at this point because he posts them on Facebook, and I think they're hilarious, but I watch people around him, they're like, dude, please stop. Just like enough. Like I
that's
can't
when
do
you
this
know it's
anymore.
really good. When people are like,
Right?
can you stop?
I need you to turn it down.
That's encouraging. If you're the person who's going that far and people are like, all right, that's enough. Can you like, nope, that's encouragement. It's that bad. Thank you. That's what I want.
So let me ask you guys. Let me try to interview you guys a little bit. So you guys are obviously in a heavy band. Are you guys into any music that's not heavy? Like, are you into any what we've jokingly called on this podcast for months now, pussy music? Because I'm a huge fan of pussy music, even though I make heavy music.
Oh man, I'm probably the worst.
Like, there's a bunch of pussy music that if metalheads found out I was into, they'd be like, "You're fucking stupid, dude." Like, ugh.
I don't think you're stupid. I'm into pussy music, man.
Yeah,
See,
man.
and that's
I'm
what
all about pussy music.
And that's what I think is one of the signs of a real musician is like I make brutal metal, but I'm super into Elton John. You know what I mean? Like you have the appreciation for something on the opposite end of the spectrum of what you're doing.
If that's
What's some of your guilty
pussy
pleasures?
music, I'm way into it because
I
Elton
love
John
Elton.
rules. I mean,
I fucking love Elton John.
you
I took
know,
my mom to that concert.
you know,
I bet that was fucking awesome.
It was amazing.
Oh my god.
We snuck in tequila and limes.
Yes,
Dude, we did, and McDonald's salt packets.
Oh, that sounds
and
awesome.
and the Excel. I got free tickets from one of the bookers and concert promoters, and they put it. No, actually, that's not true. I got a discount code, so I got club seats, like in an actual club,
like a booth.
Yeah, like a
Whatever.
box.
Yeah, box.
Yeah, and it was side stage directly over the venue, so that it sounds better than everywhere else because you're
it
getting
does.
monitor fills as well.
It does.
hell yeah.
Dude, and there was like 9 people in the whole thing. And we fucking busted it out, and then the people next to us busted out a vape pen, dude. So they were smoking us up. We were passing our fucking flask around with the limes and the salt, dude. We had a fucking party up there. Literally, I stood up because I'm wasted and I'm a musician, and I start singing one of the songs, and I shit you not, within 10 seconds, the entire box was standing up, and we were all like holding arms, like swaying back and forth, singing
Have a great time.
Tiny Dancer together, dude. It was amazing. It was so fucking
That sounds
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah,
I want to hear what some of Tim's
yeah, I want to know what your guilty pleasures are. I just went on a rant about my guilty
pleasures
for
are
Elton
guilty,
John.
just so you know. But I do have some pleasures that are a little whack. Like I love me some Linkin Park.
What are you doing over there?
Nothing.
He's doing all right. He's doing all right.
I love some Linkin Park. Honestly, like I hated Creed. Listen, I hated Creed for my whole life.
Rightfully so.
And I have like the last couple of years turned into a I'm like a construction guy, right? That's what I do for a living. I do AV, like I build fucking studios, like huge fucking, badass, serious, like killer home theaters for people, like basically like movie theaters and people that have money.
So essentially, is what you're telling me is you can help me fix this studio.
I will not help you fix this studio. I mean,
but you can. But you can.
Okay,
you can.
He's gonna send you an estimate.
It's possible, but
no, I already know what I have to do. I literally I don't actually need it. I have all the electrical wiring knowledge, sound engineering knowledge. I know everything I have to do.
Yeah, that's what I do for a living, and whatever.
Tell us your non-guilty pleasures.
Yeah, God damn it, stay on track, Tim.
But okay.
This is coming from the host of the show who has the worst drunken ADD on the planet.
Sorry. Anyways.
I would have forgot if you wouldn't have said
no, it's
guilty pleasure band. Is that what we're looking for?
Linkin Park. Creed.
Linkin Park. I love some Linkin Park.
Oh, that's a guilty pleasure. You should feel terrible about that one.
No, I feel good about it.
You should feel horrible.
It's all right. It's okay.
I tried so hard and I've got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
so.
You must love Mark Tremonti. I bet you love Mark Tremonti, don't
you? Dude, the first two Creed albums were dope.
Dude,
the first two albums were dope.
Point being, okay, that's what I was getting back to with Creed. I work construction job. We listen to a lot of Creed in construction jobs because they listen to 93X and they play a lot of Creed
and a lot of Five Finger Death
Creed
Punch
forever, and well, they're the shittiest fucking crap ever. I don't even know what the hell that is. But like Creed actually kind of fucking balls, dude. I hated them for fucking like 10 years.
Yeah.
But dude, they got some bangers, man.
Dude,
I could have been dead on a Sunday morning banging my
it's sticky. That's the problem.
And if you understand the era that came out in around the days of the new.
Yes.
But why is it good now?
Yes.
Why do I like it now? I don't know why I like it now, but
because you're finally. I think I'm going to attempt to answer this question. It's the same reason I don't like a band until I do. There's something in you, in your. Let's call it your.
I don't mean I like it, but I don't hate it like I used to. I used to hate it, and now I'm like,
I put it in.
Okay, that's so dumb. I can totally listen to that.
I call it musical maturity. Like there was something going on with you where you weren't musically mature enough to understand or appreciate what that artist was doing and why it resonated with so many people when it did. So it takes time. Like for me, no lie, it'll even be a 30 or 40 year arc. Like the Eagles, it was 3 years ago. I finally heard
you hated the fucking Eagles?
Dude, I couldn't stand, other than Hotel California, I couldn't stand the Eagles. And then all of a sudden, one day at work, Take It Easy came on. And I was like, dude, this is
Eagles
exactly
fucking
what
haul, dude. Eagles fucking haul.
I will agree with you.
So good.
But there was 30 years
I didn't
of my
care for
life
when
where
I was younger either.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, one day,
dude,
I'm
right there with you.
I'm like,
I didn't
Take
care
It
for
Easy
when I was
is
younger
the
either.
jam.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck. And then I was like,
totally
I want to hear more Eagles. So I went into my
right.
iTunes and I downloaded their greatest hits, and it was song after song after song. I was like, I know all these songs. I know these songs.
Exactly.
I can sing
dude.
every word. And I hated these songs until today.
Isn't
And
that
today
weird?
is when I became mature enough to go, the Eagles are awesome, and now I get it.
And you're sitting there saying, what have I been doing for my entire life where I didn't like this?
Yep.
Yeah, I know exactly. what you
Toto
mean.
was one of those bands for me for a long time until I understood the complexity of what the drummer and what the band was doing behind the fucking, whether it's the Rosanna, Rosanna, or fucking the Africa song, right? As a child, those vocal lines were cheesy and annoying.
Yeah.
However, as a 35-year-old, well, actually, it happened a long time ago, but as a 25 to 30-year-old mature musician who's really starting to appreciate the articulation and craft behind a specific drummer, bass player, and guitar section, man, like all of a sudden I'm like, all right, man, this Toto band really is legit. Now I get it. Now I get it.
Fucking dope. That's a
So
good group.
I'm thinking that's the Creed thing. You may not like it yet, but you're finally in a spot where you go, okay, I get it. This doesn't suck as much as I thought it did.
There's definitely a musical maturity thing where
I think so. These are just my opinions and my words that I use.
Why? I mean, let's be honest. Why do teens love what they love? Why do so many teens love like the punk? And it's not shit, but punk shit, pop punk.
Do they
shit.
like the punk?
They like
and
that's
the punk.
cool, and that's cool, and that's awesome.
I liked the punk when I was a teen.
Yeah, and then as you get older, you like different stuff or whatever. When people get older, they like more jazz or whatever it might be. So,
but they like Cardi B.
They like Cardi B, and that's
and they
cool
like
too.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
They might like more Creed.
And honestly,
Yeah, but those two are actual trash.
Well, they are. But the thing is, there's like sweet rap. There's sweet hip hop. There's a ton of killer hip hop groups.
The only
There's
legit modern day hip hop artist I've heard highly recommended from people I respect is Kendrick Lamar. Everyone else is.
Oh man, honestly, the list
right
is
now,
endless, dude. He loves
it.
Oh man.
So who are the good hip hop artists that are putting out good hip hop now?
Telling you, give me some, do it. Give me some Dolph. Give me some. Dude, give me some young Dolph. Give me a little, give me a little, Cash Money Fresh. Give me a little,
So if you want to show up to Cobra Czar jams,
dude, give me a little.
You get this guy going a little bit. You get him a little pumped up, a little ripped up.
Oh,
I'm gonna come to one of your shows. I'm gonna come to one of your shows, and I'm gonna get him super toasted on whiskey.
Don't do it.
Then I'm gonna piss him off and get him to go off about
hip-hop. You get him ripped up a little bit, and then you give him the chord, and then all of a sudden there's some young Dolph coming out. There's a couple of us. There's a couple of us in the man just walking. We're like,
I want to catch
this?
him. I want to catch him. I want to catch him on the verge of blackout drunk ranting about hip hop. But if you catch it on video,
if you give him the plug, that's what he's gonna play. If you give it to me, I'm gonna play you some stupid jazz shit. Like, you guys gotta check out this part in 6/8 right
You ever
here.
listen to?
It's a little 6/8.
This part's really cool.
It might confuse
this
you.
part in 6/8, and I'm typing on the keyboard because that's what you do when you listen to things in 6/8.
Am I just
you
like
type on a
dumb shit,
keyboard.
like rap shit, dumb
like,
shit?
listen to this young Dolph, and I'm just like, you guys gotta hear this jazz track.
You ever
This
listen to
is
Dirty
insane.
Loops?
Do you know? I love Dirty Loops.
That's why we are fucking
Hit me.
great.
Dirty Loops
and
Snarky Puppy. Are you a Snarky Puppy guy?
I've listened to Snarky Puppy, and I get it, but it's not something I like actively go out of my way to listen to.
No, I get that, and I don't either.
I know a lot of people who do, though.
For me, I find Snarky Puppy is the band where I'll hit go on a song or a radio station, and then I walk back to my phone. I'm like, damn, what is this? And then you hit it, and you're like, oh, that's Snarky Puppy. I get it.
All right, guys, we have come just past the first hour. Now is the time to start really throwing actual questions in here for these guys, specific things you guys want answered, because I'm going to end up having to take a bathroom break here soon. So put your questions in the chat now. So by the time they come through, we've got a few loaded up, so these guys can chat and hang out directly with you guys while I go take a leak. So I'm gonna back off and ignore the comments for a few minutes. Adam CD says something about me becoming Spider-Man again. I don't know what that means, but I'm for it. No, but me and Travis Doherty, who is an amazing tattoo artist, by the way. He was just on the podcast. He must be going to the bathroom. The dogs are freaking out. We forgot to tell him about the.
We did.
The spot over. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's
he's
so
fine.
funny.
Dude,
it's
he's
so
fine.
funny how loud it gets.
Bass players, they can handle it. They're gritty.
But
They're gritty people.
Travis is gonna tattoo 2 extremely realistic looking nipples on each one of my ass cheeks.
Ooh, I like it.
And then we're gonna film a bit. Me and John Wheeler are gonna run around town filming a bit where I just fucking like pull down my pants and moon random people and catch their reactions.
Dude, you remember Little Nicky?
Together.
You remember Little Nicky? The movie Little
yeah,
Nicky.
Little Nicky.
So Norm Macdonald.
At first, I thought you were talking about a rapper, Lil Nicky.
No, dude, the movie Norm Macdonald had titties on his head, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're like the ass backwards
There you
version
go. There
of
you
that
go.
character. You got to learn how to do a handstand.
Remember
Go
when,
downtown.
remember when he had the bra on his head?
Oh, yeah.
And other people were like rubbing their faces on the
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dude, you got to go downtown and do that. I'm telling you. Learn how to do a handstand and do the fucking, Little Nicky fucking, what was his like
no, I just want to
Satan
move
dad?
people and then run. And I'm hoping somebody gets offended enough to try to chase me because I'm fast as fuck.
Are you really?
No one is catching me. No one is catching me, dude. I'm so fast. I'm fast and I'm agile and I'm strong. So I can jump. If I need to, I will moon a group of dudes who chase me and I will fucking not hurdle, but I will clear a 12-foot fucking fence. I will get up enough to get it and get over it, and nobody's following me over that fence, dude. I'm gone, bro. And the more violent reactions I can record, the better the content's gonna be. That's the problem with doing this, man. Me and John Wheeler have been collaborating so much because now that we're doing these podcast things, our minds are constantly on content. Oh, we should do this. This would be a great bit. We should go record this. We should go do this. We should go here. We should do this. We're working with a bunch of places, but it starts fucking with your brain where you're constantly I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but it starts fucking with you because now you're not just trying to just do things. You're trying to be oh yeah, let's step it up a notch. And then it's content. We could just go do this and have fun. And that's what we would have done in a band. But now it's oh, let's step it up one more notch and let's film it so we can put it online. Because at worst case scenario, it'll be just really good promo material for our Instagrams. Best case scenario, maybe if we're lucky, it goes viral.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, if you could, but what is
But
your?
it starts
What's
to
your?
fuck with you a little bit, the way you start thinking about things.
What's the ultimate goal though? It's what do you? What
Here's my ultimate goal. I don't want to ever put my life or my money in the hands of anybody who can take it from me again, which includes literally post-COVID, the government. I didn't lose my job. My boss didn't mismanage her company. The government shut us down. And technically, they didn't even shut us down. We were essential, but they shut down all our customers. So I still ended up getting laid off. I still ended up getting pushed down to a point where our company didn't have enough demand, where my services were no longer needed. That was a pandemic that no one could have planned for or saw coming. So I'm investing my life in trying to become essentially not only recession-proof, but pandemic-proof. Because you can't take this from me. So my goal is to monetize this podcast enough to where I can actually be a respectable father and husband and call this a job. I don't need to make $100,000 a year doing a podcast, but if I can even make 35 or 40, and then I'm still doing music and doing some other shit,
rock and roll.
I can still lecture my kids on working hard.
That'd be awesome.
You know what I mean?
That'd be awesome.
I don't think it's too much to ask. I don't think it's unrealistic to go, I'd like to make 35 to 45 grand a year doing a podcast.
Absolutely not.
Hey, if you could, man.
I think if you go, I want to be Joe Rogan and have 10 million subs, that's my goal. I think that might be a little unrealistic. And I've always said the real goal is 10% of what he's doing. If I could get 1 million subs, that's a dream.
Well, maybe there's a
dream.
time where you're making, 40 grand per sponsor,
And that's the thing is I don't think people understand how realistic and easy it is to make money on the internet if you just we talked about this before the podcast.
You just got to figure out how to put yourself right there.
Well, and we talked about this before you got here. I'm convinced the entire entertainment business, because of the consumer and the expectations of the consumer, it's not just about talent. It's also about presenting a product that a consumer wants to actually be a part of. And that takes an extra work ethic beyond just the content. You need to worry about your set design. You need to worry about your production value. You need to worry about the quality of the presentation, everything other than just the skill you're performing.
It's the eye for detail.
Yeah. And I don't think fans will ever tell you, oh, I don't like it because his camera angle sucks. They'll just go, I'm just not into it. They're not going to. They don't
thing
know.
That a small percentage of people notice.
Exactly. You never notice what you like. You notice what you don't like. but you won't always say what you don't like because you don't always have the information. So, for example, you look at my podcast and you might get annoyed by the camera quality, but you don't know that it's the camera quality that bothers you. So you look at this podcast and you go, oh, this is a piece of shit thing I don't want to watch. And you just move on. I'm never going to hear that. No one's ever going to tell me, hey, I checked out your podcast, but your cam quality was so bullshit, I decided not to sub. I have to like think that way as a viewer. And so someday I have to make my cameras better. I have to make the audio better. I have to make everything a little better.
He's helping you out. He just put on his sunglasses. He's stretching out. He's
now he looks
pushing
sexy.
his chest out.
Damn. It's getting hard to sit across from him. But the only place I'm going with this is I believe that the entire entertainment business, whether it's comedy, music, or podcasting, or acting, or making a television show, it's somehow, because of the consumer's expectations, it's really boiled down to just weeding out the weak who aren't willing to put in the work to make their content good on every front.
Yeah, that makes
including
sense.
Tom Green and that kid who looked 14. What was his name?
Kashe 6'9".
Andy Malinakis.
Malinakis or Sudeikis or something like that?
Malinakis.
Yeah, I remember. He was on The Man Show.
Yeah. Those guys,
He used to sell beer on the corner on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and those guys did not go out of their way to highly produce it like The Tonight Show.
Right.
They went out of their way to underproduce it and make it so ridiculous that the underproduction was the production.
Exactly. Tim and Eric.
That's work. That's effort.
It is. The
entertainment business, I swear to God, not by design. There's no fucking people pulling the strings. It's the consumer who decides. If you don't put in the work, people won't watch.
And I think that's, if you're going to take anything away from whatever conversation we started while I was peeing, that's the truth about anything.
I don't remember what
it's the truth about anything is if you don't put in the work, you're not going to get it out of it. And if you want to go back to your band conversation from earlier about bands not making it, if you don't put in, like, you can put in some work, but if you don't put in tons and tons and tons, like, you don't put in tons and tons, let's be honest. James Hetfield did not get a killer fucking right hand from just sitting on his couch pissing and moaning.
That's a great example.
You know what I'm saying?
Specifically for me, because I'm a huge James Hetfield fan.
Exactly.
You're 100% right.
But that's the thing. If you're going to put in the hard work,
he's in the Guinness Book of World Records as
for
the
being a bitch ass.
Fastest
single
stroke down picker. Nobody can go ... faster than him.
That's
no
bullshit.
One.
That is nonsense. I guarantee that's bullshit.
Not in perfect timing.
One of my favorite things I ever heard about
Actually,
James
I guarantee
Hetfield.
you're right, because there's definitely somebody better, but they're not known and they're not in the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's all I'm saying.
And they're probably not as
You're
cool.
right, though. There's always somebody better.
They're not as cool.
No, you're totally right. There's always somebody better. Pick The Rock.
James
There's somebody
Hetfield
better
fucking-
than The Rock.
Can hey a little here and there, but
One of
I'm
the
just
best
saying,
things I ever heard
he
about
is not
James
the
Hetfield
fastest at this.
was somebody
No
asked
way.
Kirk
On
Hammett.
record, he is.
Yeah. Somebody asked Kirk
On
Hammett
record, he is.
one time
Maybe.
in an interview I read.
I'd beat him.
And they were like-
I'd beat James Hetfield. Tell you what.
Tightness and downstroking?
I'd beat him. I'd fucking I'd beat him.
Tim's been on this bottle of Jack
I'd fucking
Daniels.
beat him. I'll drink 3 of these. I'd beat him right now.
Tim's got his sunglasses on. This is
Hey.
different Tim.
Give me a 1 or 2. I'll beat him right
Tim.
now. You want to go, James? Let's go.
Oh, man.
What's up, baby? You want to go? Come on down.
The best thing I ever heard about James Hetfield was somebody asked Kirk Hammett one time, they're like, oh, do you ever record any of the rhythm tracks, like, for your albums? And Kirk just went, why? And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm in a band with James Hetfield. Why would I record the rhythm guitar tracks? And they're like, well,
That
you're in
is
the band.
most
And I was,
wise and humble thing
Yeah.
I've ever heard
And
from
it
any
was like-
musician ever.
It was like, yeah. And if we're going to be honest, if you've ever seen Kirk Hammett play guitar live, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, no, like I've watched him play the rhythm riff, and I'm like, Kirk, that's a little sloppy, bro.
You're right.
Like, that's not right.
But then
like,
he
you're
gets-
playing the notes on time. Everything's,
But it
but
doesn't
that
sound
riff
like,
isn't right.
doesn't sound like what I know.
That doesn't sound like Metallica.
But then they get to the solo.
Do you guys ever see
And
him
you're
play?
like,
You ever see him
oh,
play?
damn.
You ever see him play? You ever see him play?
Yeah.
Metallica?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
You did? Where? Tell me.
multiple times,
Where?
including the most recent time they were just in town at US Bank Stadium for the second show ever.
Did
at
you
that
really?
stadium. Yep.
At the like Deftones played there and shit too?
No, it was Avenged Sevenfold, them, and
Volbeat?
Volbeat. Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and dude, here's
The
the thing:
last
is
time
like,
I saw those
here's the thing is-
motherfuckers it was in the 90s. I'm not even kidding. It was like load times. It was before they put out
Dude,
that horrible fucking.
Tim, listen to me.
What was that? With the crappy
Don't
snare
even
record.
go there.
Tim,
Don't go
listen
The
to
there.
me.
crappy snare record. What
Tim.
it's called?
No, we're not
I
going
don't
to
even know that
Can't
song.
go there.
Saint Anger. That's what
Shit.
you're talking about.
Shit sucks.
The shitty snare record. That's Saint Anger.
Yeah.
Tim, listen to me. I'm telling you.
I love that snare.
I've seen hundreds of Metallica concerts on camera, and I agree. The band has gotten sloppy as they've gotten old. However, I will tell you this. I was at US Bank Stadium when they played that show. They were on fucking point, including Lars. Lars played tighter that night than I have heard him play in probably 15 years, other than the S&M performances. Like when he goes into the super fast stuff, I can tell when he's not structurally sound, like his body posture's not right, and his left foot is lagging on those double bass parts, and it's instead of it's you can hear it. Not that night. No, when they came here that night at 50 plus years old, those guys fucking brought the house down.
And the thing of it is, if you want to boil it down, what is it? Those dudes work really hard. They work like in everything.
And at that age, they also had time
At
off
that
before the
age?
show.
Okay.
Dude,
exactly.
dude,
Lots of time.
Lars
Hey, we're gonna take
fucking-
2 days
dude,
off
Lars
for every
seriously,
show.
like, dude, seriously, like, there's so many fucking dumb videos of Lars like just blowing it on stage. It's just like he just blows it,
Should've
like
been Lars.
he just blows it. You know what I mean? Though it's like every now and then it's just like, boom, and like
Whatever.
dude looks back like, what are you doing?
So you
And
know
it's
how
like,
much it
he just
hurts me
blows
to
it.
admit that you're right now?
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just
Like,
I mean,
that's
I
the
don't-
that
I'm
band
like, I'm
is
not
the
a
reason
big
I
Metallica guy. I'm just
that
seeing him
band's
like,
the reason
I
I
don't
got
know.
into music.
Whatever. Lars,
Like,
fucking.
James,
All of us.
let me
He's
put it this
cool.
way.
I think he's a cool guy. So my favorite thing about Lars is that, like, I think he's a badass.
Dude,
like,
he's
I
kind
think
of a
he's I think
douchebag.
he's well, and you know what? I'd
He's
be a
kind of a
fucking
hero,
douchebag
but
too.
also kind of
If
a
I was
dick.
a drummer Metallica, I'd be a douchebag every fucking day, and I wouldn't even feel bad about
Have
it.
you ever heard the Jim
I mean,
Brewer story
why would
of
you?
when he hung out with Lars Ulrich? while he was touring with him?
Yes, yes.
And fucking
he
Lars
goes to
Ulrich.
New York.
And
I
fucking
fucking
yeah,
know
and
exactly
Jim Brewer
the story
and
you're talking
they
about.
share a
And it's
cab
an
with some
excellent
college
story.
kid, and some college kid leaves behind all his college books, like $800 worth of books. So Jim feels really bad, and he's like, "Dude, we got to get these books back to this kid." And Lars was like, "Bro, get rid of the fucking bag. It's his fucking fault if he can't if he can't fucking hold his life together, then fuck him. I mean, fuck it. We're not. What are you gonna do? You're gonna carry this fucking bag full of books around all fucking night? I'm Lars Ulrich from Metallica. What are you doing right now? I mean, come on." And he fucking Jim keeps carrying around this bag because he's like he's gonna do it. And so Lars, at the end of that, he's getting mad. Lars is bringing Jim Brewer to all these elite secret bars and clubs where no one knows they exist. They're hanging out. They sit down, and it's Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. It's Johnny Depp, Lars Ulrich, and Jim Brewer. And Jim's hanging onto this bag of college books. And so throughout the night, this is getting Lars so mad. You're fucking embarrassing me. I'm bringing you out. We're hanging out with fucking who's the blues guitarist that Chappelle hangs out with?
John Mayer.
Yeah, we're fucking John Mayer is sitting there, and you're fucking holding on to this fucking
There's a guilty pleasure.
denim
John
bag
Mayer
full
can
of
fucking
books.
slay,
Oh,
dude.
man.
So all of a
John
sudden he
Mayer.
turns around and he goes, okay, here, give me the fucking bag. I'm gonna pay for this kid to get his fucking books, and we're gonna live our lives for the rest of the night. And so Jim's like, okay, cool, and he gives him the bag, and fucking Lars shot puts this fucking thing, spins in a circle, and throws it like 30 yards into the river. Fuck that kid. It's his fault.
Well, yeah, if you're carrying like a couple $1,000
Like,
in
what
your
a
wallet,
dick.
why not?
No,
Like,
you know
what a
what? You know what
dick.
though? I would totally respect what Lars was thinking right there, even though I don't really. I'm not a Lars
Here's the
guy.
thing is he might be
I would have
right.
said the same shit. Like, you know what? You're gonna hold this shit all fucking night. The hell with it.
I mean,
Fuck it.
is what
Throw
he
it in the fucking
here's what
tank,
he should have
throw it
done.
in the fucking
Since
sewer.
they're balling
Fuck
out
it.
of control,
It's done. It's
Here's
done.
what they should have done.
That's
Since
not-
they're
I would've
balling
done the
out of
same
control,
shit.
as
Good for
soon
him.
as they got out of the fucking cab, as soon as they got out, they're all rich. Tell the cab driver, I will pay you the fare
Yeah.
plus a fat tip to drive from here
Drop it
to
on.
there. Go knock on the kid's door and give him his $1,000 worth of books back because this is going to ruin this kid's life. Like it can this could spiral this kid out of college. Here's a double fat tip. Go take care of this kid. I'm going to party with Lars Ulrich for the night.
Right.
So I do understand what Lars was saying, but just like that story and the
I just
way
want
he
to
goes
hang out
about
with,
it.
if we're thinking about this, like to be honest, I just kind of want to hang out with Jim Brewer. Like,
Oh yeah.
It was like a Conan interview, wasn't it? It was like Conan.
I think he told that story on Rogan.
Conan, Rogan, one of those fuckers.
oh man, I love Conan.
But yeah.
Have you
Good
guys heard
shit.
Conan's podcast?
I listen to. I'm not gonna lie. I
Conan
listen to
Needs a
Conan's
Friend?
podcast religiously.
It's great.
Every week.
Do you really?
I do. I
It's
hate to
not.
say it.
It's not
That's
really a podcast because it's so heavily scripted. Like they have too many like scripted segments and like the way they. But think of it like an uncensored version of his show.
It's
Dude,
great.
Because they drop
hilarious.
F-bombs on there. They'll go way deeper
They go
than
way
you'll
deep.
ever see on Conan O'Brien.
And the best part is they'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna interview like Michelle Obama this podcast," and all of a sudden they're talking about some dark shit,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Wait, you're gonna talk about this dark shit, and then you're gonna go and interview like Obama?"
You tricked me.
Or whatever, and then they're like, and then they finish it and they go back to some more dark shit, and you're like, "This is great."
The
This
best part
hilarious."
is like
Yeah.
clearly like Michelle Obama's in on it, and so they're so well coached that even though it's scripted, it still works because Conan will tell them where to go with the bit. So he's like, I'm going to set it up like this and you're going to turn it on me this way. So O'Brien will try to set it up like, oh, and then your husband did all this and this and this. And then fucking Michelle will turn around and be like, oh, well, yeah, that's true. But ... And fucking it basically just like drops a big pile of shit right in
Yeah.
Conan's lap. Like he always makes himself the butt of the joke. I love it's.
He
He's
does,
really
but
great at
when
it.
when it comes down to it, it's him putting in the work to do the writing.
Exactly.
He's a great writer.
Yep.
He is, dude.
He's
I
a
think
really
he's-
good writer.
So the last Conan thing I saw was like Conan and like it was fucking goddamn, it was Ice Cube and Conan
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And Kevin Hart
and
Kevin
Kevin
Hart.
Hart
And they,
doing the
like,
driving thing,
around.
smoking weed with the
Oh
little
my
Asian
God,
girl,
it was-
and at the end,
It was so fun.
remember
man.
at the end
Like, oh my
they
God.
fucking did the thug life thing. They paused the screen when black screen, and they dropped the glasses on the girl who's super stoned. The little Asian girl who's sitting there hanging out.
My favorite part is that they're really good at portraying Conan as
do this.
he's just the whitest dude. It's the best thing is, hey, I'm Conan O'Brien, and I'm literally the whitest guy you've ever met.
He's had that forever, though. Yeah. He's had that forever, and that's his total thing. It's just like he's got that go. He's like fucking what? He's got to be 50 something now, and he's done it forever. Like I'm gonna be nerdy and
Thank you.
funny and ridiculous.
I
and
go in the sun and I burn
tall
in 3
and
minutes.
fucking
Yeah, he's
ginger
hilarious.
and crazy and dude,
Well,
it's
he's
so,
hilarious to me because
Oh my God.
I'm Irish and
I
He's
think
like,
we
what are
just-
we gonna do?
I
We're gonna go
think
get some 40s.
I
Like
think
some
we
what?
just-
Some 40s? What are 40s? He's like, no, we're gonna get some 40s.
I think we just finally answered my question of who's the fourth guy on my Mount Rushmore of comedy. And I get it. He's not a stand-up comedian, but I think it needs to be Conan.
Dude,
He's-
Conan rules.
oh, man.
He's
Dude,
an
back in
American
the day-
treasure.
he
Dude,
is.
fucking back in the day. We're like fucking junior high kids. He's doing the shit. Like he's got a fucking.
I
Keep
stayed up
loading up
every
the
night.
questions, guys. I'm about to take a.
I stayed
I'm
up
about
every
to take
night.
a piss.
I stayed up every
I
night
would
to watch
always
Conan.
do it, dude. It was crazy. Like I can't stay up. Like I can't stay up to those hours now.
Yeah. No. Well. Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't have cable now. That's why I can't watch it.
I don't have cable
Thank
either.
God for
Hey,
YouTube.
Cobra Czar, we don't have cable. What's up? Hey, what's
Cobra
up?
Czar, we don't have TV. We don't even have TVs.
I love Tim. I just want to tell you, I love how much of a rock star you are, dude. I've always loved your rock star vibe, and you've never lost it, and I love that so much, dude. I love it so much.
This is Tim.
Tim is a real rock star.
He is.
No, dude, Tim's a fucking asshole.
You're also not talking into the mic.
That's good. This is Tim. We're at Tim's stage.
All right, I'm going to take a leak. I want you guys to talk to Adam CD. He has a really great question. It's that middle one right there. What is your setup for gear? Like what kind of guitar,
Cool.
brands? What do you play with? What are your amps? Do you play? You're the bass player. Do you play with 4-string, 5-string, so on and so forth? Talk about your gear setups, guys. Top to bottom, whole thing. Go through your rig to your pedal boards to your amps. If you want to get into EQs, I don't give a fuck. You got about 2 minutes
Let's
to
do it.
fill.
I'd say Tim. When you say we're kind of like We're old school.
We are old school. Old school as fuck.
Old school, half stacks, full stacks, tube amps. Well,
Goddamn right,
for the
man.
most part,
we
yeah.
don't fuck around, dude. We rocking on them tubes, baby. We rocking on them old ass tubes. We play fucking orange amps.
Tim loves those old tubes. Tim, tell us about your amp.
Hey, my amp is a fucking old ass 5150, baby. It's just fucking running hot. Still done and running hot. Same shit since the 90s, baby.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking woo.
Tim's running.
You know what? I plug into that fucking 5150. Guess what I get? I get a little woo every time. You know what I do? I tune up my shit. I tune up my shit.
Sometimes.
I tune up my shit. You know what I get? First off, I got a little, oh, man, shit. I got to work on that. Right after that.
Tim, you got a tuner?
You know what? Right after Tim gets a little tuner, you know what he gets a little? He gets a little, whoo! Because right after that, my next string's a little, whoo! And then we, dude, then we just fuck them all up.
Yeah, dude. When you're tuning drop F, I mean, as soon as you get close, that's all you can ask for is a little, whoo!
Hey, I'm telling you what, all we need is little, whoo!
Yeah, you ain't lying. Yeah, we got 51. Tim's rocking his 5150. Tim, if we're gonna ask you, you want a full? You want a half?
Dude, I'll tell you what. You know what? I like a little half, to tell you the truth, because when I go on stage, man, I like a little half, baby. Give me a one cab.
We're talking half.
Give me one fucking head, dude. Let's go. Let's go. You know what? We got one mic. Let's go.
Tim John wants to know if you got strings on that thing or not.
Shit, the stage's got strings on it. You think it don't?
Yeah, man. We got. So Tim rocks a Warwick. Tim rocks a Warwick 7-string.
A Warwick? Get out of my face, man.
Tim, are you sure you don't want to rent the house
fucking
next door?
Warwick.
Washburn.
Get the fuck
Are you sure you don't want to rent the house next door? Because you're about as hood as every G in this neighborhood, bro.
He's rocking it.
Hey,
Tim's got his 5150.
I put on that 5150 and woo! That's what I play too, man.
Hey,
I play the original 5150. That's my rig. The original 5150.
They're the best.
It's a good mix.
They're the fucking best.
I still to this day will tell you the 5150 is the most versatile 120 watt tube amp on the planet.
120 is all you have to say, because how many fucking amps are 120 watts of anything? Nothing but the 20 and 100.
I'll get you some milky,
150,
buttery,
50,
beautiful clean tone
150. It's
out of my 5150. Don't tell me I can't.
No one does it, but the 5150.
Don't tell me I can't.
You can't do it.
I can do it.
Tim rocks his 5150. Mikey's running the Mace. Oh, shoot. What does he have?
Don't even tell him.
Shout out to Mark Oslin, who taught me how to dial in tone on tube amps. Mark Oslin. Everybody knows him, but also no one knows him. Mark Oslin is the tone king, and he taught me how to dial in tone on tube amps. And I'm telling you, you give me a 5150 and tell me what tone you want, and show me what guitar you're playing so I understand the pickup situation, and I will dial you in some buttery, breathtaking tone on a 5150. I will take your fucking breath away.
It's not hard.
Think you can outpick James Hetfield? I will take your breath away if you let me dial in your 5150.
He can dial in to this podcast anytime he wants. So you got a guitar on the wall? I don't care what it's tuned in.
James.
I'll fucking take him on. So let's go.
188. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We got a 5150.
What's up, James?
We got a Mesa dual rec. I'm rocking the Dark Glass Microtube 900 these days. And then Tim Java's got he's got some custom handmade drum set from some dude from, I don't know, he told me like 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, he's got a dope drum kit, man.
He's got a dope drum kit.
It honestly, like, it's like, it's, dude just is kind of, he's kind of the fucking engine that keeps things going right now. It's
Java?
He's so fun to have along on the project.
He's a really fun guy to write music.
It's crazy. He offered, in fact, Tim, I have failed to actually take you up on this opportunity. When he was here on the podcast, we were talking about the project I have going, and I'm struggling to get a better drummer than me to track it, because I do not want to track my own drums because I'm playing guitar on stage. Yes, I'm writing the drums, but I don't want to track my own drums. Like, I want to find somebody to track them. Tim's like, dude, I'd love to just take a crack at it. Let me just do the challenge.
That's his deal.
Dude, if you're still down, Tim, I need it done. Wally's actually dipping into the tracks now, so we're getting close.
That's his deal. Hit him up. He loves to do that kind of thing. Yeah.
Especially if you like that 80s spank, because my guitars are like, it's so hard to describe my guitars, but like the way I write my rhythm guitars in this band, it's a very weird amalgamation of Misery Signals, Metallica, Van Halen, a tiny little touch of Protest the Hero, and then even just a little smidge of 12 Tribes.
Cool.
And trying to explain that, but it has like an 80s spank to it. Like even with all those things I just described, it has like an 80s hair metal spank.
Cool.
Very hard to describe, but dude, Wally's doing. Have you guys heard of Stormbreaker?
Mm-mm.
They're a local
No.
band. God, I wish I could play them right now. I don't have it queued up. Sorry, boys.
Yeah, it's all right.
But Wally's been producing that band, and he's gonna produce my album. We've been in lockstep about this for a few years now. And I was really nervous because a lot of the bands he produced were like, they sounded like 90s and 2000 rock bands. Wally had started to develop this almost signature sound when he produced an album. And I was getting worried about it, but I trusted him. And then I heard Stormbreaker.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, shit, Wally. I was talking to him last night on the phone, and I'm like, dude, I am so much more pumped than I even was before, because like you really captured that 80s fucking hair metal.
Is that what you're kind of
And
shooting
that's the
for
best.
then?
If
No.
I'm
Gonna
going to be
your
honest
next,
here,
like-
that's
No,
the best
no,
kind of
it's
tone.
just a certain vibe in my guitars.
Okay.
There's a certain 80s butt rock vibe in my guitars, but once Dalton jumps on and Jeremy jumps on, Jeremy is my vocalist, Dalton's my lead guitar player. Once they jump on, it's not 80s butt rock. A lot of people are like, oh, I hear some Coheed and Cambria in there. I'm like, that's cool, because it's the method when we kind of like, when I was trying to describe this, you know, when you're trying to start a band, recruit a band.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to sound like? I was like, okay, here's the vision. It's Misery Signals meets Coheed and Cambria. And everyone was like, what? Until I wrote all the music and recorded it, and then we're like, well, I hear the Misery Signals, but I don't hear the Coheed. And then Dalton jumped on lead guitar, and everyone's like, oh, this totally works. It's exactly what you said it was going to be. Yeah, thank God for somebody else like Dalton, because I wasn't fucking getting my message across.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the beauty of a collaboration
That's what it
project.
took, though.
It took other people.
That's the beauty of being in a good band.
That's why
It's
I've
the
never wanted to
collaboration.
be in the Jared Singer project. It's always been a band name. Even this thing where
Yeah.
I'm writing most of the music, it's still a band. Because if I did everything, it'd be this one-dimensional piece of shit that no one would
That's
ever
the beauty
relate to.
about being in a band is the collaboration. And
That's
the,
what I'm
the
saying,
twist
man.
on it.
The spices, the color, the flavors they throw on it.
Exactly.
Love it.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that's like more than anything, the group that we've been doing now, man, with the Cobra Czar is like seriously, it's been the closest thing.
Why are you wearing
to a
sunglasses?
full on?
Because he's Tim.
Is it because your future's so bright?
It's because like I'm trying not to shine too hard, man.
He does. if you get him going too hot, his eyes they get real bright, and it's hard to see anything.
They do, and they're just gonna pinch out. But for real, man, I'm telling you, like this Cobra project, man, like it is seriously a full on collaboration. It's a full-time job for everyone in the group, and it's like everyone in the group like does their part
For
Big
sure.
time.
So,
it's awesome.
Adam CD keeps asking the same question, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tried to bring this up earlier. What genre would you call yourselves?
You know, every time somebody asks us, the first thing I feel like everybody says is we're just heavy metal. And we don't it's not that we're trying to avoid anything. We don't want to like pigeonhole, but it's just heavy metal. And like Tim's saying, everybody's bringing something. It's a full-on group effort. Like sometimes it's this.
And I hate
Sometimes it's
asking that question.
And I totally get that.
I hate
And-
answering
and
that
every
question. I
group
hate
has-
asking that
yeah,
question.
everybody hates answering that question.
Me and my roommate, my best friend, he was the best man in my wedding. I talk about him a lot on the podcast. His name's Kevin. Everybody knows him. He used to play bass in my band called The Tyrants. He and I talk about this a lot, but as we're talking about it, equally admit how not only does it frustrate us, but like we hate having that conversation because it almost makes us cringe. Like, oh, you guys aren't really like that kind of metal. You're more this kind of metal. Yeah, you want one?
Yeah.
Oh, he wants Fulton. Yeah, it's a really hard thing. It's hard
Sweet.
because you don't want to pigeonhole yourself. Yeah, I'd take one. Thank you. But like realistically, like Tim's saying, like it's a part of everybody in the group.
It so is.
But
And
here's why I
it's
like the
so-
question.
it's
Let me,
like-
because
that's
I
how the
feel like I'm
band is
kind of
the
shitting
band.
on Adam's question right now.
No,
I'm not, dude. Adam, I asked this question earlier, so I'm not shitting on you, and I'm not shitting on your question. Here's why I like the question. Let's go positive for a moment.
yeah,
Because is what we're not asking you is what bands do you sound like? That's why I
Right.
like the question, because is what I hate even more than this question is, oh, Cobra Czar. So who do you sound like? Eat shit. Like that is the worst question to ask a band member. It'd
no,
be like,
it's not. It's not. It's
I
not,
think it
it's
is.
not bad.
I think it is because it's like this. It's like this. Somebody being like, "Oh, I'm an actor," and they're like, "Oh, so who do you act like?"
No, but that's
I like to think I'm like.
Oh,
Tom
I'm like in
Hanks,
the
thank you.
I'm in the Robert De Niro genre. Like
But-
it's kind of a
But
fucked up
you think
thing
about
because
it, though, it's like someone that's into actors. They want to know what kind of actors they're into.
but an
like,
actor
you know,
would never actually answer
So-
that question. He'd be like, "I'm fucking me, dude."
But that's
Right.
why we say, like, dude, straight up, we're heavy metal, man. You like heavy
Yeah.
metal? We're like, we play metal, man. Like, there's so many genres of metal out there. It's like, it's so dumb at this point.
So you could
There's
say,
a-
"Oh, I'm a drama actor."
Well, we
but
said
that's what
that- we
describing
said that-
what
we
type
said,
of
like-
actor you are, not who you're like. And that's my question is like why I like his question is because it's not asking, "Well, who do you sound like?" Because
Yeah.
you would never ask an actor, "Who do you act like?" You would ask an actor, "So, like, what type of actor are you?" "Oh, I'm a comedic actor." "Oh, cool."
So
"Oh,
what
I'm
I
a dramatic actor."
aspires to be.
So I feel
You
like
see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
Does that
no,
make
I
sense?
hear you. I
That
hear
makes
you.
sense.
Yeah, I
Because
hear
I'm
you.
not trying to be
Yeah.
a shitty person. I'm not trying to stir up controversy or argue about everything. I'm just saying, like, it makes sense when you think about it that way.
yeah,
Because but people do that to us. You would never,
Right.
and this is what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to like attack anybody or shit on his questions. What I'm saying is like, think about this. If you were an actor, or if you were going to go up and walk up to an actor, or he said he was an actor, you would never say, "Well, who do you act like?" That entire idea is so preposterous. You don't do that. The only question you would ask is like, there's two things, right? Like, is there anything I know you from or should know you from? Or what type of stuff do you? Oh, I'm in comedies. I do dramas. Oh, I do Broadway. You describe
Right.
the type of music you're in. That's what he's asking, and that's why I think that question still, as much as I don't like
Yeah.
it, because of all the shit me and my roommate have talked about, I think it's still a legit question because
no, definitely.
you're a hip hop musician. I hate hip hop. I'm not into it already. I don't even need to go look you up. Oh, you're into metal. Oh, you do metal. I like metal. So then this is where I get irritated. What kind of metal? Are you
So
like
the cool-
post-hardcore?
Yeah.
Are you metalcore? Are you sub-hubcore? Are you deathcore? Are you this? Are you that? Because right now I'm really into progressive,
I feel like a
medieval,
lot of people
blah,
wanna-
blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, come on, dude. Like, either it's good music or it's not. You're into it or you're not. We just got done discussing
And
about how
people
you're into
wanna know
Elton
that.
John.
People want to know that because, like, oh, am I going to like this or am I going to not? And if you go back to what Tim said, like, he's like, everybody brings something different to the group, which is the coolest part about it. So
If you have a hard time
Truly.
describing your sound, I think you're in a good spot.
it's a great spot to be. So like we have Tim Java playing drums in the band now, which totally changes so many
Oh,
parts.
so CJ's not your drummer
so
anymore?
many parts of the group.
So
Right.
CJ's not the drummer anymore.
No, Tim Java's playing drums.
Tim Java's your drummer?
Tim Java
That
plays
dude
drums
is
in our
such a
band.
fucking beast.
And so like he brings.
You told me he
brings
produced the album,
a-
but you
a
didn't tell
lot
me
of-
he was drumming.
Oh yeah, he's playing drums in our band now, and so like he brings
Timmy.
a lot of cool stuff to the band. And then there are parts where like Tim here, Tim is bringing a lot of different aspects of guitar sounds. Like we have parts where it's just like, man, this part right here, this is like really hardcore. This is like you fucking just beat your chest, tough guy shit. And then we have other parts where like this is a little bit kind of weird and trippy, classic rockish. And then I get a little bit of opportunity, like I'll do a little bit of walking bass. And it's like, okay, now it's a little bit of that. And then we have other parts where like, all right, this is a straight up beatdown riff. And then Mike Fischetti comes in and just lays waste to anything that could possibly stand up to it.
This is all true.
And then you get to another part, and then we got Mikey's, I always call him Mikey Sludge, but Mikey Van Heel's playing guitar, and then he'll come up with a riff, and then you just sit there and you go, I don't understand anything that's happening here.
See, that's the fun thing about
And that's
doing
the
what
best
we
part
do.
about the
It's
Cobra.
like we really don't like have like we don't have a formula really. It's just like
five
it's
dudes.
like everybody is so good at so many different things. Like seriously,
I just
Mikey-
love how I asked this question 2 hours ago. Adam's asking this question, and we still can't answer it.
No, we can't. But but see, if we're gonna be honest, that's the best thing about our band.
Yeah, it really is. Like I didn't even know.
And I
like,
apologize if
honestly,
any of the viewers or listeners think I'm talking
And
too
our
much or
drummer's chipping in
interrupting
right
too much.
now. He just laughs. He said, "Haha, it's true." It's
honestly, to tell you the truth, when I started this band, I didn't even know Lions. Like it's crazy.
He didn't.
I didn't even know Chris. And our singer introduced me to Lions. He's like, dude,
In
Lions.
case anybody's confused if they're listening and they can't see, if they, for the listeners on audio, if they're not seeing you nod your head, Chris is Lions. So Chris It's the same person.
I'm the
He's
same
referenced you two different ways all night. He's referenced Lions. He's referenced Chris.
Welcome to my life.
The listeners who can't see it are confused as to who you're talking about. So I'm just trying to paint a little bit of a picture.
Oh yeah, straight
Chris
up.
Lyons is the other guest.
I just imagine
The bass
everyone
player
knows who
is
Chris
Chris
Lyons
Lyons.
is. I figured he was a bigger deal than I guess I didn't know he was.
Here's the catch.
Nah,
Here's the catch.
I mean, I just figured as much. But.
Here's the catch: is we have a global and a national audience. We have listeners
All right,
in
so our
all over the globe.
globally and national,
all over the globe for real. They have no fucking
Chris
idea who
Lyons
you guys are right now.
is like seriously, like kind of like put us into the spot that we're at because like we we kind of started a little spot in North Minneapolis, down the street. What do they call that spot?
Oh man, City Sound. City Sound.
Oh yeah, the old City Sound. It started in
Oh,
there.
that's like closer to downtown, but I get your point.
And we jammed out there for a while, and put a couple songs together, and like all of a sudden, like it started kind of like catching foot, and like whatever, it just like. It turned into a band, It turned into a song, it turned into a tune here and there, and like I don't know, man. Tell you the truth,
Pieces fell into place.
Pieces just kind of fell into place, is what they did. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, we moved to a different. I have a different practice space that we play at. That's down over by it's by like Lake and Hiawatha, and Tim Java happened to be in there. Who's our drummer now? Who was playing with the dude I used to play with named Kevin, who's just a fucking sick guitar player who doesn't live in Minneapolis anymore, unfortunately. And Kevin played with Tim in a group called Summoner, which is way cool. And he's like, "Hey, this guy's in our space." I was like, "Yeah, that's cool. This guy's in our space." And I have other bands that are in our space, and there's other bands in our practice space too. And it all worked out. And so like we ran into an issue. We're like, "Oh, we don't have a drummer anymore." And so
do you feel like your band jumped to a different level when Tim joined?
It's like it's just a different level of collaboration.
Yes,
and a
I would
different
say.
level of
You
writing.
mean Tim Java when Java joined the band?
I'm asking.
I would say
specifically-
yes.
I'm asking
big time.
specific. Let me be more. Let me be less vague. Do you feel like some sort of integrity level or sheer talent, like something like almost like fucking like a fighter, like some sort of confident arrogance, like that thing you need when you go from like a good football team to a Super Bowl champion, that swagger?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was added when Tim Java joined the band on drums?
Oh yeah,
Because I feel like that's the type of guy, like an Al Born, like a John Gensmer, like a Dalton, who's playing lead guitar for me. When there's certain people that join your band, and I've heard people talk about me like this too, like even though I didn't bring the talent of my instrument to the level of like what Tim Java would bring on drums,
right.
but like, and we talked about this earlier, I would be like, no, our minimum, we're not playing for less than $200 ever again, like ever again. That kind of shit. Like the swagger level came up a little bit. Like you'd walk on stage with just a little bit more confidence than you did last time. Would you say that's accurate with a guy like Tim Java joining the band?
Yeah. I mean, I would say yeah, but
And
I
I'm
mean,
not saying this
we've
in a
never
douchey,
been to the
arrogant
point
way.
where we're like actually like stepped on a stage yet. But I mean, as far as
You haven't played a show yet?
Well, it's been seriously like a year.
I'm saying with Tim.
It's been like a year of COVID since since Java like joined the group pretty much.
You got anything lined up?
Well, no. I mean, it's still kind of locked down at this point.
It's tough to book right now.
Well, we're not even trying to really book right now. Is what we're trying to do is. I mean, I don't want to fucking spill the beans, but we are.
You got plans?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. I got fucking big plans, dude. I got big plans.
Good.
Some of which I've already started to talk about because I'm allowed to, because I've confirmed with certain people, and other ones I can't talk about.
Good.
But, dude, I'm so excited. Dude, I feel like we really are starting to zero in on a group of about 150 to 250 people in this scene that really actually care, and that if we choose to, if we collaborate, we can really build this scene back up into what it was and way better.
Dude, you know what I'm saying? Why can't we? Why fucking can't we?
Dude,
why fucking
there
can't
is
we?
no answer to that question. There's no answer. There's
why
no
fucking
reason we
can't we?
can't. There's no reason we can't. There's not technology. There's not talent. There's not resources. We have
telling you right
everything.
now.
Is
All
what
we
we
need to
lack
do is fucking do it.
is what we lack is leadership and
All we need to
organization.
do is do it.
We lack leadership and organization. No one in the scene has looked at everyone else and said, "Hey, let's all just go in one direction together."
I know.
And that
all we need to fucking
that
do
stopped in
is
2004.
fucking do it. And
We're doing it now. We're doing it now. It starts with things like this podcast, not this podcast, but things like this,
No, I
where
agree.
we start coming back together.
100% agree.
We start communing. We start having fun together. We start being aware of what's going on, and we start like one of the big things is like, yeah, I want to have on anybody I want to have on, but if your band sucks, if you don't have your shit together, you're not coming on, dude.
Yeah,
because we're trying to like build the scene. We're trying to do something much bigger than Jared Singer or Cobra Czar or any of us individually. We're trying to bring the integrity back to being. Just go that way, dude. Push your chair in and go this way.
So here's the. So like, if we're gonna be,
We're trying to bring
really
the integrity of our scene back
Right.
to a point where it's worth being here.
So if you want-
because we already had it. This is the other thing. Sorry,
man.
I don't mean to overtalk you, but I got to
No.
finish this rant.
Do it.
This is not a fucking pipe dream. We already had it once.
Yes, we did.
This was already a place to be. The venue is still here. First Avenue is still here.
Yes.
Plus, we have hundreds of other legit venues still here, even post-COVID.
So if you want to
Let's nut up.
Yeah.
Let's man up. Let's woman up, whatever fucking phrase you want to use. And let's get our fucking shit together. And let's start making ourselves a destination that people respect. And I never want to hear somebody like Charles Barkley say ever again, the only good thing that will come out of Minneapolis is Prince.
Yeah.
That's our fault.
See, now
that's not his fault for being a dick. That's our fault for not being relevant. That's our fault for leaving Minneapolis because the only way to make it is to move to LA or New York.
Right.
We did that.
So there's some weird aspects to that thought in that conversation, which I think are really important.
Thank you for letting me finish my rant.
No, that was great. And it was really
I get a little
really
riled
important. But I think that it's really cool to think about, okay, so we've got all the situation, whatever. I don't have to even address it. But this is essentially a total reset button. And it's all going to, it's going to open back up at some point. It's a total reset button for the scene as a whole. Like, no one's been doing any live music, essentially, outwards for a while. So when things get opened back up, we're going to be able to go back out. There's going to be people who are hosting shows. There's going to be venues that are older. There's going to be venues that are newer. It's a total reset button. It's brand new. How many bands have been sitting around and practicing and practicing and practicing? There's going to be tons of people who want to play shows. There's going to be tons of places that want to host shows. There's going to be tons of promoters who want to put on those shows. So it's a total, to me, yeah, this is Tim. To me, it's a total reset button.
I love Tim so much.
And why not? And the hard part about us in Minneapolis is we are logistically, locationally, we are who we are as a background, as a people.
Well, do you realize? I'm sure you do it. This is
we're
rhetorical.
just kind of like, we're okay.
No,
we're
but you said something
we're
important.
whatever.
People said
I don't
all
want
the
to stop
time
Hold
that
on,
we're
hold on.
fucking crippled.
Hold on.
At
I don't
this
want to.
part-
I don't want to step on your dick. I want you to elaborate on something. You said something that I feel is key. Where we are. We are where we are. However, did you know that this is a way more powerful music town than Chicago?
No, I agree.
Which is 10 times the size of us.
I agree. But I feel like there's a huge mentality of just kind of the background and the culture of a lot of people who are here. Like, oh, we're Minnesota. Yeah, we do like it's
that
really
whole
good.
family-friendly
the whole
bullshit.
family-friendly thing, and that happens too. But we're also like, if you want to look
That is
at
a
it
problem.
from the
We don't raise
business
enough killers here.
Exactly. But the business
Yeah.
Not
perspective,
literal murder.
You don't
is,
think?
like, we are kind of isolated as a business perspective. Like, Chicago's kind of like right down in the middle.
Put
You
that
can,
right there.
you can go from Chicago and like still cruise through everywhere else. We're kind of up. We're a little bit off of not a ton off the map, but a little bit off the map up in here. Whatever. It is what it is. I get why people move to LA. But you got to, like you said, you just got to take it and own it. And we could easily, there's a ton of great music here.
And I'll back you up on that. I definitely get why people went to LA.
Yeah.
I no longer think. So when you, and this is why I asked you to elaborate on those two things. What do you mean by it leveled the playing field or brought us all to the same level? However you phrase that. Because your definition of it goes with mine. They don't contradict each other. They supplement. Mine is, I watched famous comedians who I see on specials on Netflix fucking crush it, go on a fucking internet live thing with no crowd and bomb. And I'm like, they just got brought down to my level.
And
so there is a skill set. There is a talent level. So when they do get in front of the crowd, they're actually funny.
Yes.
But no one's funny if there's not a crowd. That, to me, and I get it, we're talking about comedians, not musicians, but it quickly like equalized things for me. And I go, oh, okay, so funny's funny. A crowd is a crowd. There's the talent is bridging those two. And I correlated that to music because I played in front of 15 people.
Yep.
And gotten 15 people to fucking lose their minds. And then I've played in front of 1,500 people, and I've never been booed off stage, but I've experienced silence.
Okay.
When you get done with your song. So, there's a way to get a crowd into it. There's a way to win. There's a whole separate craft other than the actual comedy or music you're writing versus the vibe of the crowd and your ability to make those two things bridge together, right?
I think you used the perfect word, craft. The craft.
Your craft.
Yes.
Yeah. That's fascinating me because I'm seeing really good bands break up during COVID.
Okay.
And I'm seeing other bands who were like kind of on the up and coming.
Hey, Jared.
Who took advantage of this and doubled down, and I'm watching them come out of COVID way better than they were a year ago.
And there's some
Jared.
cool bands who really thrive on that
Sup,
whole
Tim?
thing.
I got something for you.
Give me
your best example of that, though. Seriously, though.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear. I want to hear.
Who came into COVID? Or,
yeah. No, I'm saying like
worse
before,
than they after.
No, beforehand though. Like, what was your best example of that beforehand? Like
of what?
The band, like
the band that band?
No, the band that really made that happen for you. Like before things were fucked up. Like,
what do you mean?
Well, you're talking about,
I think I understand your question, but I want to make sure I answer it correctly.
I'm just saying, like, give me an example of someone that, like, band that made you, like, excited from this.
Before COVID or since COVID?
Before and since.
So no one before COVID.
Okay.
Like I said, kind of alluded to earlier, like I'm one of those guys who's been like looking for a band that like really is trying to push.
I gotcha.
And I hadn't stumbled across anybody before COVID. I hadn't seen the work ethic. The scene, our Minneapolis scene, seemed like it died, like it was dead.
It
felt stale.
It totally did.
Okay.
And then
we all
since
did.
COVID,
Unfortunately,
since COVID, and it's probably not reality. It's probably what I'm referring to as my perception. Since I started this podcast and it's grown, and I've gotten more exposure to different people I never even knew existed. And I'm being shown bands, and I'm seeing videos of crowds, and I'm like, oh, we still have the bare bones and the remnants of the scenes. There are bands here. We need to centralize all this into one thing. So since COVID, to actually answer your question, there's been a couple bands that have really inspired me because I've seen they've gone, hey, you know what? We have a year to write. We could write 3 albums this year.
Yeah.
We could take care of our next 4 years. Okay.
So we did.
So you asked me.
So
I'm
we did.
going to name bands. I'm going to name bands because you asked me. You asked me to do this. I'm going to name bands. Via. I'm wearing their shirt right now. Via. They're one of those bands.
Okay. VIA.
They're one of those bands. The Failsafe. Okay. They're one of those bands. Jesse Weber.
Down.
These are all podcast guests, by the way.
Cool.
Stormbreaker.
Oh yeah, you said
Never heard about these guys, and now everyone is hitting me up going, dude, you need to have Stormbreaker on. Like they're hands down the most requested guest on the podcast, and it's not even close.
Is that right?
Stormbreaker.
Like I've had 100 people
That's cool.
email me, reach out to me, Facebook message me, text message me. Dude, you got to have the Stormbreaker guys on.
That's awesome.
And it started right after the last time Wally came on, Wally J. He's produced all their records.
Okay.
The last time he came on, he mentioned their name, and I was like, Stormbreaker, please tell me they're huge fans of Marvel and Thor, right? Because of his weapon.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't know about that. You'll have to ask them. But he described the sound to me. I was into it just off the description and the novelty. And then over the next 3 weeks, I've probably had 100 different people message me like, you need to get Stormbreaker on.
That's cool.
They're so overwhelmingly the top request to get on the podcast. It's kind of like making me a little nervous.
So I'm super. I'm super excited. Like once I don't want to want to sound bad.
So those are my answers. Are those three bands?
that's
Via,
awesome.
the Failsafe, and
Via, Failsafe,
Stormbreaker. Those are
Stormbreaker.
bands that I have discovered post-COVID, and the reason I'm impressed is because of the work they've been putting in during COVID. That is my direct answer to your actual question. Holy shit, we did it! We actually answered one question from beginning to end.
All right, big. Okay, you know what? And honestly,
I'm excited to see.
That's
plug
a
in the
cool,
5150 and woo!
Hey, plug in that 5150 and go. It honestly, like, it's cool that you say that kind of shit because for real, man, like, people gotta know it's a weird deal, man.
Oh,
like,
and Protest the Hero.
Bands don't even know, man. Like,
And Protest the Hero. Protest the Hero released
Yes,
an album in
please.
September called Palimpsest. They're the only national band I know that released a record during COVID that I was blown away by. Palimpsest, not Palimpist.
Everybody's holding on to them.
Not Palimpist.
Hey, I just want to
the
say,
real word is Palimpist.
Can I say?
But they wrote an album called Palimpsest, and it is breathtaking. It is one of those albums from front to back. Give it a few listens before you judge it, because I'm telling you, man, Protest the Hero
I've always liked
Palimpsest
everything they've released.
is breathtaking.
Hey,
Completely
I
breathtaking.
gotta announce one that came out last week too.
Hit it.
Like I gotta you know, man.
Give it to us,
Seriously, like I gotta fucking give a big fucking straight up to my homies in Blue Ox.
Oh, Blue Ox! We just talked
yeah.
about them a couple weeks
man.
ago.
They
Dude.
put out a sick record last week, and it's fucking amazing, man. Like honestly,
Yeah.
You know
my
those
best
guys?
friend- dude,
Well,
Do you know those guys personally?
best
Can we
friends
get
in
them
the
on the
world, man.
podcast?
the other
like,
guitar player,
my
Mikey,
best friends
in our
the
band.
world. Everybody
is
in
in
that
Blue Ox.
fucking
Can we
group
get them on the podcast?
Oh, yeah. We'll hook you
I
up.
just talked
gotcha.
about Blue Ox. I brought them up out of the blue. There's your dad joke. I brought them up out of nowhere a few weeks ago, or I should say a few episodes ago. It seems like a few weeks ago. And we were talking about weird, obscure local bands situations.
The shit is heavy.
And I remember...
Blue
I
Ox should
remember.
not like. Okay, I'll say this
It
right
was
now.
10 years ago.
Blue
It was-
Ox should not be obscure. Like they've been
No,
along,
listen to me. Listen
they've
to
been
me.
around for
But-
long enough.
but they
like,
are.
Y'all should know.
But they
Put it in your
are
pocketbook,
obscure.
motherfuckers. You
But
don't know Blue Ox, you better fucking know it.
Yeah, and
because
if you don't, you got
it's
a
just
little
for real.
dick.
well, ain't nothing wrong with that.
too
But
far?
I'm just saying.
non-scientific.
Was that
fact.
too far?
No,
Was that too far?
non-scientific fact.
If you have a little penis, it's a scientific fact you don't know who Blue Ox is.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
That's
don't
how
even
little
look
dicks-
them up. Don't even
how
look
little
them
dicks
up.
work.
Because if you have a small penis, you still won't know who they are.
The fact of the matter is, one
That's sarcastic.
One
Actually, look
person
them up.
said
I'm joking.
Blue
Jesus
Ox,
Christ.
And the three of us got really excited.
Dude, because here's the thing.
it's
I
so
just...
heavy.
Dude,
So
okay.
heavy.
Here's why I'm freaking out. Because Blue Ox is one of those very, very rare bands
Yes.
where a bunch of people in the scene hyped them up.
Yes.
And they were like, you got to see this band. You got to see this band. You got to see this band. And finally, I don't remember if I was playing the show or if I was just there hanging out. But I do remember it was the Rock nightclub and it was fucking empty. There was no one in the room.
At the Rock, I can see that because
Except-
fuck the Rock. Dude.
And
no
I
one's
walked-
going to the Rock for Blue Ox.
And I walked. And here's the
And
thing is,
that's so funny about
Here's the thing
Minneapolis
is-
back in the day.
people in my band at the time, I believe I was in Solace and Ashes, so it was probably Pat Rulin and it was probably Nick Vukolich.
Yeah.
They were probably like, dude, Blue Ox.
Yeah.
So, and somebody, I'm like, you know, me being the arrogant douchebag I am, I'm like, so who the fuck are these guys? And they're like, oh, that's Blue Ox. And I'm like,
It's
oh.
just Blue Ox.
But I go, oh, this is Blue Ox. And they
Yeah.
go, yeah. And I go, okay. And I walk away like I always do in dramatic fashion. I just, okay, boom, grab my beer, leave the group, no goodbye. Like, just fuck you guys, okay? And I'm the only one there. And I stand half stage right. So it's like one guitar player here, the singer, and then the other guy and the drummer. And I'm right in front of the big, giant fucking PA speaker. And I'm telling you, when I finished my beer halfway through their set, I set it on the stage next to his monitor.
it moved.
No, I just said it.
Had
I'm
to
just
have.
saying, no, because it's The Rock. You know,
Okay.
Good PA, but also carpet and like properly built. So I set my empty beer. I just set it there. And my point is my feet didn't move. I didn't go get another beer. Like when I was done with that beer halfway through their set, I just set it down. Not where it was gonna fuck with anybody, but like I'm it's my club, right? Like I don't own it, but I play there all the time. I'm on the in. You guys know what it's like. And I'm the only one in the crowd. but it was such an amazing show and such an amazing performance. I didn't move my feet. I didn't go. The only time, I'm going to tell you this right now, the only time this has ever happened in my entire life, in my entire fucking life, was one time when Pat Ruin brought me to some fucking weird metal festival at Star Central, and there's this weird British band who had 2 singers, very similar to Blue Ox, by the way, and then Van Halen in 2012 when I took my mom.
Okay.
The 3 concerts, 3 times, 3 fucking times
where
in my entire life where I was so into what you're doing, where sober, I finished that 1 beer, because you buy a beer and then walk up.
You set it down.
And when I'm done with that beer and somebody goes, hey, let's go grab a beer, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
But that's the thing.
3
about
bands
Blue
have
Ox.
done that to me. 3 bands have done that to me. Blue Ox is one of them.
And that's the thing that people don't realize.
This is coming
Blue
from a
Ox.
musician who has toured the fucking country, who's seen all the shows, who knows all the fucking famous people, who's played all the shows. I don't even like going to my own shows. And I still stood in front of them and watched that entire fucking set and didn't move my feet. Like, there was no shifting of my weight. There was no I was locked in. And when I was done with my beer, it got set and I just stood there.
So when I watch Blue Ox
rules.
This is the biggest compliment
Blue
I
Ox
can
fucking
ever.
rules.
Metallica hasn't even done that to me.
Because they fucking rule.
Metallica hasn't even done that to me, you guys. And that's the reason I'm doing music. And I will still go get a beer during Metallica.
Tim summed it up.
Think about
Blue
that.
Ox rules. But I will say, when you see a band like Blue Ox and you're just standing there and you're watching, you're watching, and the only thing that you can literally think in your brain is, this is fucking awesome. I'm watching these 5 dudes. This is just awesome. Everything that they're doing right now kicks ass.
That's how I feel when I watch the Dead to Fall shit too.
Yeah.
When I watch those 2 videos, when Tim Java was on the podcast.
Well, it's funny you bring that up,
those
because
2
that's
music
kind
videos,
of the
Chum Fiesta.
That's kind of the tri-hybrid. It's like Ambassador Gun, Blue Ox, and fucking Dead to Fall all in one group is like, that's how you get fucking.
You know what? All you
that's
guys,
how you get Cobra Czar.
all of these bands. You know what you're just missing? You're only missing one thing. Me.
No, all we're missing is a paycheck.
You know what? You're just not in our practice space, to be honest. That's the problem.
I'll tell you what,
honestly,
you can join the band.
You know what it really is? I'm literally just not good enough.
No,
you can join the band. You got a paycheck for us.
I'm smart enough. I probably write good enough songs, but with all of you, I can't keep up. I'm like you. So okay, here's my dream is you're a great bass player. You're let's just pick an instrument. You're a better singer or you're a better guitar player than
He's
me.
a plucker.
And then Tim Java joins the band. Right? So it's okay, what instrument can I play and be good enough at? Here's the problem. There's always somebody way better at any instrument than me. Well, so I'm never the guy anybody's we should call him because he's
band,
the shit.
In any band,
I'm really good at all the instruments and
better.
Not great at any of them. You know what I mean?
If you really want to talk about what's the right combination for a cool band, a cool band is the right combination of the right people with the right thing.
I think we need a gimmick band. We need a Minneapolis version of Strapping Young
Hairball?
Lad. No,
Strapping Young. I'm sorry.
Hairball's a cover band. Fuck those guys.
No,
Seriously, honestly, here's the thing. No, hold on. Let me
okay.
just say this. Hairball got brought up. Nope, hold on. Fuck Hairball. I sold gear to those guys.
It was a joke.
Biggest juke bays on the planet. Enough said.
That's fine.
Fuck those guys. And they're a cover band, so fuck them.
Hey, man, all I'm saying is I don't think anybody should feel bad about collaborating ever.
We should do a gimmick band Strapping Young Lad, but from Minneapolis.
It shouldn't feel bad to do a song with one group and be like, hey, that was what we did and that's fine.
Or one album.
It doesn't need to be a band.
Cool.
It doesn't need to be a band.
No,
just a project.
To do a project.
Let's do a project.
It could be a song.
I think more people should.
I think we need to do more than
like
a song.
that. And I think that would be
if
a good thing.
If it's a project, you got to do a whole album.
Honestly, I think that would be a good thing for the metal community. Because,
I think so too, right?
It's just we don't all listen to the same metal. There's a ton of metal. There's a lot of boring metal for people.
You were talking about jazz earlier. Adam CDs like,
Dude, I'm telling you.
Adam
I'll
CDs
tell you
like,
what.
I love jazz.
I would not. I tell you what. I would not
for all
listen
you
to
know,
most
I'm a
of
great
shit.
jazz drummer.
Dude,
Right?
I tell you.
What if we
I'll
made
tell you
like
right
a
now,
weird hybrid
I would not
jazz
listen to
trio,
most of shit.
metal,
That.
fusion?
I would love that. I would play.
We do one album,
I
8
would
tracks. We put it out. Maybe we play once a year.
We could jam and for a day, and we could put it on an album.
You know what I'm saying though? But like, what would you do
Yeah.
before that? Like, would you ever play that like without
Right.
Chris? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's why it's cool. You know, that's why like to me, like the
Or like you
fucking,
say,
but
you're
the
really
metal
into hip hop.
community is better
You're really
off.
into hip hop. So here's what we do. You and I start a weird band where we write hip hop music with only real instruments. Like
oh,
we
that's
write
not
in.
gonna work. No,
Oh.
you need samples for that.
So if we,
The
I mean,
fuck
if
you
we
just
want to get
said?
into the collaborating, thing,
You did you just say I can't write
wants-
hip hop music
he
without
wants to
samples?
write hip hop
No,
with
you
samples.
need samples for
Get
that.
no,
the,
you're
the
done.
Point, no, the point being, man,
You lost all credibility, Tim.
I have no credibility. I
I'm
have
just
no
fucking with you, buddy. I love you. I love you. I'm
None to
just
start with.
fucking with you. No, we could definitely write a hip hop album with 0 samples.
I love
100%
samples.
organic instruments. I
Yeah.
mean, literally, it's been done, so I know it can be done. But we could do that and then like not have a hip hop singer over it. Like
Yeah,
having
so-
like find instead of having a rapper over it, just find like a female R&B singer
You can
to
do
sing
whatever you
over
want.
our hip hop beats we wrote on metal instruments with our 5150s. How cool would that be to like literally take Metal Gear, write a legit hip hop album, and then find a female R&B singer to sing over it? Hooks.
So like, if
Ooh,
you
who's
really,
that?
if you really want to
Tell me
jump
who it
into
is.
it.
Whoever the fuck we
Yeah.
want. We got connections with fucking Dessa, bro.
So the best part
Like
of
in our
music-
scene, in
Oh,
our scene,
You
in our
tell me you
scene.
got Dessa on this?
Here's what
It's
I'm
a-
saying.
it's a
In
done
ours,
deal.
in
You got
ours,
connections with Dessa?
here's what I'm saying. In
Hey,
our scene,
I got a Dessa story. You
In
want a
ours-
Dessa story? Hey,
yes,
can
yes,
Can I
but-
give you a Dessa
Easy,
story?
yes,
Tim,
yes.
easy.
All right,
Just
I
let
got
me
a-
say
I
this.
got a Dessa
Easy,
story.
Tim.
Yes, I want
Easy,
the
Tim.
story.
So,
I
I
want
used
the
to
story.
work at a Lexus-
But
Oh.
let me say this.
Shut up.
In
I
our
got a liquor
scene,
story.
in our scene, Dessa's a stone's throw away. People like Dessa are a stone's throw away. That's all I'm saying.
Tim
dude.
has a literal stone
Okay,
Can I
throw
get a
away.
Tell your
Dessa
Dessa
story in?
story.
Back in the day, we used to work at the fucking liquor store on 21 and Lindale back in the day. So basically, like 20
Is this a
second.
good story?
Oh, it's a good
Or is this
story.
going to get
Oh,
us
this is a
Me
good
Too'd?
story.
And
There's nothing to it,
I
really.
can't get canceled.
It's kind
I
of a
own my
shit.
own
It's
property.
kind of a lame story, but really, like, I mean, honestly, everybody would come to the door. There'd be like, it was Dessa hour. Like, we all knew it. Like, Dessa would come, like, jogging by the liquor store, and, like, it wouldn't matter. It'd be like the punk rockers. It'd be like the fucking jocks. Everybody would be like, yo, Dessa's about to jog by. Everybody like, holy shit. Dude. And Dessa would be, oh my god, dude, Dessa be jogging by all fucking fit as fuck. Like, everybody, we have to be looking out. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Anyways, that's my Dessa story.
I'm not laughing because you're.
That's the story.
I'm not laughing because
everyone-
you're clearly all objectifying women. I'm laughing because you're all pathetic dudes who follow your dick to the fucking windowsill to watch a chick
Everybody
jog
would
by.
watch Dessa jog by because, dude, she's just like magical, just like this
And you're
fucking-
all pathetic
Yeah.
dudes.
no, but like all the pathetical dudes. It's not just like one group of
It's
pathetic
all
dudes.
the dudes.
It's all of us.
It's
like,
it just proves how pathetic all dudes are.
but it just proves how amazing Dessa really was, and she looked good. Like honestly, like
Hashtag me too.
Uptown was watching
Yeah, we're
Dessa
right
like
there.
jog.
Yeah, we
at
just
that point.
completely objectified her. In this climate, this conversation
I
is
hate to-
offensive.
but really-
5 years ago, this
Yeah.
would have been a compliment.
Yeah.
Today,
No.
we
I blew it. I'm
just
sorry, I blew it.
It's all right, Tim.
subjected her.
But if we're gonna like wrap up everything we've talked about, the
We
best
can't
part of the
do that.
music is the collaboration. Like, to be honest, like everything we said earlier, like we talked about playing with music with Tim Java. We talked about weird things like what does Cobra Czar sound like. The best part of music is collaboration. It goes back to everything that you just said about like what do we do? What's the best parts? It's the collaboration. Like, if I'm gonna be honest, I've played in a huge wide range of music of bands. That's like a bass player thing. As a bass player, you like to play different music because you play bass differently.
As a guitar player, it's nice to have a bass player.
Boom.
For the first time ever.
Yeah.
When I'm usually the bass player, being a guitar player.
Which
And
was my
now-
favorite part of Ambassador Gun, was watching those two switch. But like, as a bass player, like, I've played funk bands. I've played like cover bands. I played pop bands. I played metal bands. I played prog bands. Played all the shit. But the most fun part is is the collaboration and writing music with other people. And
Amen. Brother.
like playing in Cobra Czar is super fun because we're all like, oh, what does this band sound like? It's like, we play heavy metal. Like Tim's from Ambassador Gun. Like one of them, it's like, all right, this is like the Ambassador Gun part of it, and it's fucking heavy. It's grindy. And then we got Tim Java, and it's like, all right, this like fuck Tim Java. He's like doing all these drum things, and I don't know how else to say it, but like he's doing drum things. And then we got Mikey on guitar, and Mikey's like, well, Mikey's got the Blue Ox thing, and his right hand is really fucking tight.
He's got
And
a tight right
and
hand.
oh my god! And you're
It's
like,
a thick right hand.
and you start like playing a riff, and you're like, okay. And then Mikey plays it, and you're like, holy shit! Mikey plays that riff, and now it's really fucking hard, and it's really tight.
Nice.
And then I come in, everyone's like, oh yeah, there's bass, whatever.
No.
But then Mike Fischetti comes in, and he does like
And
the
Mike
whole
is, just to clarify for listeners, Mike is who?
Mike's a singer.
Mike
Okay.
Fischetti is a singer.
Mike introduced Lions to the band, and honestly, like, it's so weird because we wouldn't be the same band if we wouldn't have fucking Mike for the singer, because he introduced us to Lions, and honestly, it would never have ever come to what it is.
Isn't
now.
that so
But-
weird
but
how
that's
that
like
It's
shit
the
so
best
weird.
part.
It is like, and that's how bands work, though. You
And
know what I
that's
mean?
the best part of it.
It's like that's the best part.
Exactly.
A
And
lot
that's
of the good
best
ones
part
kind of
it.
fall
Any-
together.
That's what I love.
Yeah, and that's the
Because
best
how
part
that
of
shit
any
works.
band. And so like we got a thing. And so like Mike Fischetti, like I knew Mike. Mike's just one of my best friends just because we hang out. And he's like, you should play bass in this band. I was like, I would love to play bass in this band. And I showed up, and we just jive.
I never would have guessed.
And
though.
it grooves.
Never would have guessed right off the bat.
I know it's because
Never-
I'm so straight and I'm
No,
so
it's,
white.
it's
I'm
not
such
even
a
that.
weird
But,
dude.
but like, it's no,
You
it's not-
cisgendered
know.
white
It's-
piece
I
of
know.
shit.
honestly,
Fucking Irish.
it's not even that. But like, seriously, it's like it's honestly magical. At this point, it's like it's right on the fucking money.
But if
Like
you want
if
to
you
feel-
would have, if you
we
would
like-
have rode
we feel like it's
snowmobiles
right on the
and
fucking money.
shotguns and voted Republican, it would have been too much, and you wouldn't have made it.
No,
into
no,
the
it
band.
still would've
it's-
worked.
I'm just
it's-
kidding.
oh,
I'm
it's
just
the same.
kidding.
Dude, all I'm saying is
I'm
like
being
I
ridiculous.
never would have
Yeah.
guessed. I never would have guessed right off the bat. Like I never would have guessed. And now it's like it's fucking
No, I feel that though.
dude. It's
and
just
that's
fucking
the best
money.
part about
It's
being
just
in the
fucking
right
money.
band. Being in the right band, you just kind of feel it. And that's the best thing about Cobra Czar is we just kind of feel it. And we're like, we know this is the right thing. We know this is the right band.
So true.
We understand that this is the right
he's,
group.
He's speaking the truth.
And it's the coolest fucking thing, dude. And then we're all like, all right, we're going to do our instruments, and we lay it down. And then Mike Fischetti is just kind of doing his thing. And he's
We're-
like, all right,
we're
you
nerds.
guys. Okay, I'm Fischetti, and this is what I'm going to do vocally, and you guys are going to like it. We're like, yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
fucking like it.
Dude,
And
it's
he does
totally
his
true.
thing.
It's totally true. We're heavy metal nerds. That's what it comes down to.
And
We're
so
heavy
that's-
metal nerds. It's awesome.
So to
you're
go back
so
to the
you guys are
question-
embracing and enjoying and weaponizing the novelty of the genre and the craft that you're in.
Exactly.
Have to.
So to
Almost
go back
like a
to the
Marvel
question,
movie. Almost like a Marvel movie.
Right.
You're going, hey, we're doing a superhero film.
Exactly.
Let's do a superhero film. Let's make it believable. Let's make it relatable. But let's also admit we're doing a fucking superhero film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
love
why-
that. I love that.
And that's
the
why
purity
it's
of
so
it.
funny to like
So it
have
sounds
the
like-
question.
So it sounds like to me, you guys are making music. Oh my God, I love this. So it sound. Oh my God, I'm getting like goosebumps almost.
Do it.
I'm not getting goosebumps, but I almost am.
Get him.
So it sounds like you're
'em.
telling me, get him, get him, get him. It sounds like you're telling me something. I'm gonna make a statement, and I want you to tell me if it's right or wrong, and then I'm gonna explain
Say
why
it.
I'm
Do
saying
it.
this. You're making music that you want to listen to, and you're hoping and fighting to try to find other people, fans, listeners, that also appreciate listening to this. Is
Well,
this true or not?
Aren't
Tim?
all we as musicians?
No, we're
I mean,
fucking
Tim,
not.
Tim.
No, we're not. Am I right? Hold on.
No, you're
Hold
totally
on.
right.
Before I answer your question, am I right?
No,
Is
you're
that
totally
true?
right.
Okay. So now I'm gonna answer. No.
The
We're not.
honest to God
We're
truth.
not all doing that. Is what most of us are doing. Is we're trying to make music, comedy, TV shows, content, podcasts that we think other people want to listen to, and that is a recipe for failure. Go listen to Metallica, James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich. Go listen to fucking George Lucas, who made Star Wars. You go listen to anybody who's ever done anything great, and they say, when people ask them, why did you make this? George Lucas says, I made Star Wars because I wanted to watch Star Wars and no one had made Star Wars yet.
Exactly.
Metallica is on record saying, we write music that we want to listen to, and we are just lucky that other people also want to listen to it. When you follow that formula, that is how you start making something that is actually good. If you become, and they're coming on the podcast, allegedly, through a third party, but I keep using him as an example, which I think is part of the reason they're coming on the podcast, because I think they want to make no, but I think they want to make their case. But I bring up. We're on the same.
All right,
there it is. It's back. It's a reset. I don't know what's going on. It's something. I got some weird power going on, or one of the fucking updates. Something's happening. Something changed. But anyways, Papa Roach. Okay, Papa Roach didn't write music they wanted to listen to. They wrote music that they thought was trendy. So you listen to that song, Cut My Life.
I tell you what.
This is Tim. Tim, everybody.
Look at this. You think we're going to play Papa Roach?
Dude, have a seat.
No.
Have a seat.
That's exactly my point.
We look like we're Papa Roach.
That's exactly my point.
We're not Papa Roach.
That's exactly my
have
point.
A seat, guy.
You know
have
what?
A seat.
Have a seat in your seat.
Hey, have a seat right here.
I tell you what.
Tim, sit down.
Sit down, guy.
So is what I notice is I give shit. I give shit, and I use Papa Roach as an example because Papa Roach wrote "Cut My Life into Pieces," right? And then a few years later, but a few years later, when that genre changed, they wrote that other weird like power ballad that was like kind of a different genre of music.
I
like
don't know.
they write music that's going to be a hit then.
I'm on your lap.
Yeah.
They're not trying to write music that will decide a genre.
Dude, I'm sorry.
It sounds like you guys are writing music that if it hits, other bands will try to sound like you. And the only way you can ever do that is if you write music that you want to listen to,
and that's it.
And hope that you can market it and find real fans.
And that's it. And when we're sitting down to write tunes,
sitting on each other's laps,
sitting on each other's laps, because we don't
just
care.
make out, just kiss.
To be honest
just
with
kiss.
you,
Just get it over with.
No, we got to go to practice later this week. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, whatever. It happens.
This is the epitome of the Minneapolis music scene.
Yeah, so
it's officially happened.
Hey,
but if we're being honest here,
I tell you what, not as many people have pretty bass players like I do.
They're like Cobra Czars have looking at a pretty bass player, I guess. But if we're being honest,
yeah, we need more guest questions. Please
the best
put them
part
in the comments.
is we get together. We just love to like work through the songs. And the most fun part is we love working through the songs, and it's heavy and it's fun and everybody enjoys it. And there's a fucking twist. There's a classic rock twist.
That shit is true.
There's a heavy metal twist. There's a Meshuggah twist. It's low. It's drivey. Everybody has their thing, and it's fun. And we all enjoy it.
Here's what I want to do.
And we literally don't care.
Here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I want the listeners and the viewers to bear with us. If you're watching this in post,
Bear with us, yeah.
Here I gotta give a disclaimer. I'm gonna give a disclaimer. Here's the thing: we had a weird technical issue earlier, so if you're watching live right now, don't go anywhere. You're gonna see the stream stop for a minute. Just don't go anywhere, and it's gonna pick right back up. If you're listening to this and you're not live, you're not gonna notice the difference. I'm gonna reset this because I want to do something. I want to play these two videos again, but we had some issues earlier. So don't go anywhere. You're going to see a little tiny, weird little lag. Give me 30 seconds to a minute. The stream won't stop. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to reset this real quick because I want to play this song again. That song and clip and video we played earlier, I want to play it one more time.
So did we play any of the videos I sent you earlier?
Yeah. We played one already. I'm going to play it again, and then I want to play that Ambassador going one, too. Because,
that's a fun one.
Yeah, because that's one of my favorite videos.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite videos. But I want to make sure we can hear it so we can appreciate it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because when we played that earlier, I don't know what the fuck's going on with my system, guys. I need a fucking...
Dude, it's all good. Don't even worry about it, man.
It's good for them.
It's so fun.
It's good for them.
Are you... Dude, we're having a good time, man.
This is what it's like to be a musician.
Oh yeah.
It's so much fun, dude. All we do is just have fun. It's just a big love fest, dude. So give me 30 seconds to a minute. Don't go anywhere. Your shit's just gonna start spinning. Don't freak out. It's me. It's not you. All right, we're gonna be right back.
I mean, I'm sorry. Honestly, I throw the glasses because, like, the glasses, like, dude, there's so many fucking lights in this joint, man. I had to just like.
There is a lot of lights in here now. None of them are very bright, but there are a lot of lights. All right, give us 30 sexy seconds. We're gonna come back. We're gonna play another video. We're gonna keep having some fun. Don't go anywhere.
Dude, let's hit some of these weeds, dude. Let's hit some of these weeds, dude. Weed.
Are we on still, or are we all done?
We're back up.
Oh, cool. Right on.
All right.
We're back up. Yep, we're good.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Nope, I just wanted to reboot this because sometimes I don't know what it is, but we're working with the resources we have, and this is OBS. It's the #1 program that podcasters, game streamers, everyone uses.
Okay.
But it's free and it's open source.
It's not my world.
It's broadcasting software. It's not video editing software. It's broadcasting software. Hell yeah, baby. It's broadcasting software.
Yeah.
So here's the thing is, if you know what you're doing,
bingo.
If you know what you're doing and you get a reliable version, pre or post update, I could fucking produce Friends. I could produce The Big Bang Theory in OBS.
I never watched Friends.
I could produce a 3-cam actual sitcom on NBC in OBS. But because it's open source, it's not a TriCaster system. It's not real bona fide $3,000 to $30,000 broadcasting. We have some issues. So last time we played that clip, usually the way we fix this is a quick little reboot.
Yeah.
I want to play your video again. And in this theory, if I did this correctly, we will actually hear it this time.
Nice.
They heard it last time, but we will also hear it this time.
Can we see
I feel
that,
bad
like
saying
that? That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it'll pop up on that screen.
Yeah. Can you read us that question? I can't see that far. I think I need glasses.
Maybe you already talked about this, but where the hell did Cobra Czar come from? Oh, we definitely covered that earlier. That was one of the first things we covered.
I can't see that far. I think I need glasses soon.
How did the group get started, and how did you end up with so many damn talented people participating?
Is that what it says?
So we definitely covered this a couple times.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Roundaboutly, but maybe now that we've said it 2 or 3 times, because they're right. They're right. Most podcasters would be like, you know what? We already answered that. Go back and watch the beginning. Well, guess what? You can't, because we're live.
We're live.
So now that we've said it 2 or 3 times, can we do a 30-second?
Yeah, I can condense it.
So how did Cobra Czar start? Where did it come from? And how did you guys get so many talented people in it? Can you give a truncated version of that?
So I would say it started with Tim here. Tim and the original drummer CJ got together.
Coming out of Ambassador Gun, correct?
Coming out of Ambassador Gun, Tim's got some low-tune shit. Some low-tune Zeppelin-esque blues riffs that he wanted to write. Wrote some cool fucking riffs. He was super lucky to get Mikey from Blue Ox. Fuck, Blue Ox, dude, heavy. Look up Blue Ox. Get Mikey from Blue Ox involved. Then they got Fischetti roped in. Mike Fischetti from Martyr AD. Mike Fischetti comes in.
Hey, let me tell you right now.
Yeah,
and then Fischetti brought you in.
Wait. Let me tell.
He's gonna tell us.
Let me rewind
Tim,
the tape.
Tell us. Rewind the tape.
Let me rewind the tape. I'll tell you right.
Rewind the tape.
No, let me rewind the tape. I'll tell you right now. Hey, you know what? I tell you what. There would be no fucking. There would be no Chris if there would be no fucking. If there would be no fucking Mike Fischetti, because seriously, Mike Fischetti, seriously, he was like, dude, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this with my motherfucking homie, and he's like, my homie is fucking, dude, I'm telling you,
I got lucky.
I'm telling you right now, he's like, dude, my homie is fucking right here, and he's like, dude, my homie's right here, and we're gonna fucking rock this
I hope
shit.
he said it exactly like that.
I got lucky.
All I hope is he looked at you at rehearsal one day, and he goes, hey, look, motherfucker, my homie's right here, and he's the motherfucking shit. Like, he's gonna fucking do it.
It's so funny because we did one single, and it's so funny. It's
when you know,
whatever,
dude.
man.
Yeah, it's good. I got
That's
super
beautiful.
lucky. Yeah.
That is so fucking beautiful.
I got super lucky that my best friend was like, "You guys should let my best friend join my band." I was like, "You guys should let his best friend join this band." I was like, "Yeah, you guys should let me join this band." So anyway, it
It's
worked
so true.
out. So
It's
I
so
jumped
true.
in.
The beautiful part is though
Yeah.
like, okay, because we've kind of told this story 2 or 3 times now. The beautiful part is, yes, so Vischetti kind of is like, no, this is the guy, this guy. But then once you were in, everyone was like, oh, this is the fucking guy.
Well, so it worked out. So,
That's
to be
the
honest
beauty
with you,
of it.
From my point of view, they didn't have any other choice. They're like, oh, god damn it, we don't have a bass player. We got to have a bass player. Fuck. We don't want a bass player, but fuck, we got to have a bass player who can do this. And they were like, this fucking guy, he'll do it. Anyway.
That's not exactly.
Yeah, whatever.
That's not
Anyway.
exactly the idea.
So it
honestly.
worked out. It worked out, and then we moved to.
I'll tell
I
you
had
what.
a different practice space. We moved to my practice space, and it just so happened that our current drummer, Tim Java, was also in the same practice space. So when our last drummer departed, and he wanted to do different things, it was like, well, Tim Java's already here. He is interested. He's working with us already. We like him. We know him. It was perfect.
So how did CJ come in and out of the band? Let's just get at that because we have a common bridge here because CJ came in. It's funny. He seems to be one of the, and I'm not talking shit about you, CJ, if you're watching this right
we
now.
love him. He's a great dude.
I'm not talking shit about you, but
love him.
CJ,
Hey,
CJ
you know what?
seems to be
I'll
one
tell
of
you-
those
I'll
dudes
tell
who
you
was
right
in
now.
a lot of bands, but he was always a transitionary
Hey,
member.
I'll tell you right now.
Because he, hold on, let me finish this, dude. Because he came into Dying Euphoria essentially kind of as I was on my way out.
Oh, okay.
Like not by intent or design,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it just kind of coincidentally happened that way. And then he didn't last in Dying Euphoria too long. And then he was in your band, and now he's not. And I'm not talking shit. We don't need to say. I'm just curious though, like, without being mean or rude or talking shit about anybody else, like what didn't work out with CJ, and why did that open a door to allow anybody else to come in the first place? Was it a money issue? Was it family obligations? Like, we're not trying to decharacterize this man.
No, man.
We'll
it
never
wasn't-
do that.
Honestly, it wasn't anything personal.
Because I don't even know
No.
why he didn't work out with Dying
It
Euphoria
was
after
nothing-
I left.
No, it
I wasn't even in the band. I have no idea, but I just know he wasn't.
Yeah, not at all.
No, it was
Somebody else
nothing
eventually
personal.
replaced him.
Honestly,
He just always seems to be a transitionary guy in people's bands. Like, he's always the in-between drummer. Somebody else started
You
it,
know what I
and
think
somebody
it
else
is?
finished it.
Personally, I love CJ. He's a great
I love to.
friend of mine.
You know,
We all do.
I'll shoot like a little personal like peace out to CJ too, because
We love
like,
him.
hey, thank you for fucking rocking in the band, baby. We love you.
We
Great
do. We love
drummer.
him. And
Great
you know,
drummer.
you
We
know
really
what it
do.
is everybody's always like, if we're gonna be honest, everybody's always searching for what they want to do musically.
They do.
Right? And I think that CJ just kind of reached a point. And it's not saying that he didn't like our band. It's not saying that CJ. It's not saying like CJ's really talented. He's really good.
Very good drummer.
Yeah, he
Great
is. He's
drummer.
really good. And his new band, I think his new band's
Probably-
his
probably-
new band's called Perth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Probably way better than I am, actually, at
and
drums.
he's a really good drummer. And CJ's just he was looking for what
It's a higher bar on drums than it is singing, by the way. When I
Exactly.
compare you to me, if I say you're a better singer than me, that's a low bar. Drummer is a little higher.
So
No, but
He's
what he's
just-
saying
he's
is
just
like
looking
you know,
for
you
what
look
he
at it
wanted
like
to
that. It's
do.
like
Yeah.
like,
I get that, though, and
CJ
I
is, like,
appreciate
he's
that.
always looking towards more, and like
Yeah.
we respect
He's
that.
for
Great
me,
dude.
for
We love
me,
that.
oftentimes
That's awesome.
when it doesn't work out, it's because I don't have enough equity in the band. Like, I can be a jobber, like you can literally hire me as a fill-in,
yeah,
but like I want to be paid and treated correctly.
I get that.
Don't pay me like shit and treat me like a peasant and expect a band member level of commitment.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get that 3. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah,
so
well,
so
like,
as
that
a
comes
jobber,
down
when
to,
it didn't
like,
work, it's because
does
I
that not
either
come
didn't have
down
enough
to
say,
Right.
I didn't have enough pay, or I wasn't treated right. One of those 3 things, right?
Exactly.
As a band member, when it didn't work out, it's usually because it's like what you just said with CJ. Like, okay, you guys got kind of your own thing going, and I'm not really feeling it.
So
And this just
the 3
isn't.
if we're gonna be honest, the 3 of us are not CJ. And the only person that knows what's best for CJ is him.
Mhm.
And he made that choice.
Has
And-
he found his band yet?
And
Because that's what that's what it boils down to.
Well, I'm not CJ, so I can't decide. So I think that I think he's really hitting his groove.
You want to play
the
the
new
video?
band that he's in? And
What is the band? Let's give him a plug.
it's called Perth. P-I-R-F. Oh my God, spelling P-I-R-T-H. Perth,
Yeah,
like
they're
the
not
city.
too bad.
Yeah, it's cool.
P-I-R-T-H.
Yeah, it's cool.
So
And-
who we're talking about, if anyone's confused, we're not talking shit about him. He's a great dude. We all love him. We were all in bands
Exactly.
with him. Go check his band out. It's P-I-R-T-H Perth. Go check it out.
But we got super lucky.
There's a free plug,
that-
CJ. I can't plug you and talk shit about you at the same time, so don't get mad.
He ain't all that bad.
He's a great dude. I love
No,
that
here's
guy
the thing:
to
is
death.
if I plug you, I'm not talking shit.
Exactly.
Like I plugged you, so don't get mad. I just plugged you.
But for Cobra Czar, we got super lucky in the fact
Tim,
that
you need to fix that mic.
we were
But.
in our
Jesus
practice space. Like Tim Java was in our practice space. So when CJ decided, hey, this is not what I want to do anymore, it's like, okay, it's cool. We're not like we love you. We don't hate you. We're not holding this against you. And literally,
Yeah,
a little bit of time went by, and Tim Java says, "Hey,
I hope I
we're
didn't
in this-
imply that. By the
no,
way,
you didn't.
I
You
was
did
just
not.
curious, like how,
we're in
because
the
I know how talented he is, and I know how driven he is. So it was curious to me because other people asked us, how do you get so many talented musicians? And like, not only was I curious how Tim ended up in the band, but like, wait a minute, the video we played has CJ in it. How does this transition even
Well,
happen?
the perfect transition.
It's almost like talking
yeah.
about when Jason Newsted left Metallica. Like,
The perfect
we're not talking shit about Jason,
Yeah.
but it needs to be discussed in order to appreciate where you're at now and the significance of a guy like Tim joining. Tim
So the
joining
most-
seems like more coincidence
The
than
most
anything.
fun part is that Tim was in our practice space, and if we want to go
which
back,
is almost coincidence.
it is total coincidence. If we want to go back years,
Not really, but
so like in 2000,
Kinda.
fuck, what was it? It was like 2013, 14.
Yeah.
I
put
hope
out-
people aren't getting
I
confused
put out a
with the way
s-
I'm going about this.
No, you're good. I put out a stupid Craigslist ad. I wanted to start like a stupid, like I think I put out a Craigslist ad for like a stoner thrash doom band. I want to start like a stoner thrash doom band. I got this dude named Kevin. Kevin is fucking this sick fucking guitar player. He does not live in the cities anymore. So Kevin used to play in a Dead to Fall. I think Kevin played in Dead to Fall or whatever with Tim Java. And
Which
he
one
had-
is Kevin? Please tell me he's the one
Kevin-
in purple.
So Kevin's
Please tell
not
me he's the
around
one in purple.
anymore. I wish he
love
was.
the guy who always dressed in purple.
Kevin's fucking cool. And so he played in a group called Summoner with Tim Java, who had also played in Dead to Fall previously or whatever. And so I had started this band with Kevin. Eventually it became Murder in the House of God. And I ended up leaving, and they continued on, whatever. It was way cool. Kevin had super fucking cool riffs. Kevin played with Tim Java and was like, hey, let's get Java into our practice space. And so when I joined Cobra Czar, at some point I was like, hey guys, I do not like to have two practice spaces because it's stupid. And I was like, Cobra Czar, you should move to my practice space because
No
it's
way.
cooler.
No way.
And they were like,
Are you
yeah,
serious?
whatever.
Are you
And then they
serious?
moved into my
Oh,
practice
by the way, it's
space, and it was
Are you
awesome.
serious?
PERTH.
See, honestly, I didn't even know
PERTH.
that.
Sorry, I spelt it wrong. I'm not a
for the
speller.
listeners
Oh
who
my
are not
God.
watching on YouTube and are not watching the live
PIRTH.
chat replay.
That is
Sorry, we
actually
made a mistake.
awesome.
PE?
We made a mistake. Apparently, it's PERTH
All right,
for the
I'm
listeners
sorry.
across the globe
Ah.
who are interested in
I didn't
in
pretend
this.
to be a good speller.
It's fine. I'm not ridiculing you. I'm just making sure that the listeners find it.
So anyway,
PERTH.
yeah, that's our story.
Bra, bra, bra,
Brap, brap. We got super lucky that like I didn't know Tim Java. Tim Java ended up being in our practice space
I don't
through
even know.
another dude that I played in a previous band with. And then when I brought Cobra Czar in, they were like, "Who's in this space?" And I was like, "These are my friends Jake,
Okay,
and
so
these are my
wait.
friends Jared." And they're like, "This is Tim Java." And they're like, "Wait, Tim Java?" I was like, "Yeah, Tim Java's in here." They're like, "We all know Tim Java." And it was like a weird interconnected, I don't want to say cesspool, but it was a weird interconnected pool of people. We're like, "Oh yeah, it's cool." So when everything went down, Tim Java was right there, and he's like, "You guys want me to play in your band?" And we were like, "Hell yeah, we want you to play in our band." And so last July, we started writing music, and we've been writing music ever since, and the music hasn't
Tim,
stopped.
by the way,
And
since
the
you're
music is fucking killer.
by the way, Tim,
It's been a
since
lot
you're
of fun.
clearly still in
So
chat,
much fun.
Like
Tim's
Chris is
also got
totally
another
right.
project going on right now. Let's throw this out there. So I'm going to give Tim some plugs. because I love Tim. Tim came on the podcast. Tim was probably one of the most gracious.
He's a great dude.
I don't even know if I have the words to describe it, but the like just genuine love and appreciation. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, man. I just like that dude.
Tim Java
That kind of dude kind of like that dude.
And he loves to write music.
But that
and
dude
it's
kind of
great.
like, not in a bad way. When I use this phrase, this is a good phrase. He kind of like fucked up the way I think about things, and I say that as a positive.
Yeah.
That's not. I'm not saying he.
No,
like,
yeah.
Like, he kind of like fucked my brain up a little bit. You know, he made me start thinking about people and things and music and just like connections and even tropes that I've known about for years, like sales and networking and how to build relationships. Like, it was just kind of weird because like the whole way him and I came together wasn't through the music scene. It was because the singer in his band worked on my grandfather's shear while I was running the press break.
You serious?
And we met in a metal shop.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, I can't explain, like, again, what I said about Phil and the NFL players and in Texas. I have a weird fucking life, dude.
It's just a thing.
I have a weird fucking life. I seem to know everyone.
What do they call that? 6 degrees of separation?
Yeah,
7 degrees
that's
separation
exactly,
or whatever?
And the only difference
like that.
between me and everyone else is I'm willing to start a conversation and get to know you. That's what separates me from everyone else.
That's fun.
I'm the guy who's like, hey, what's up, dude? Blah,
That's
blah, blah,
fun.
blah, blah, blah. Or I'm talking in front of somebody and I say something and they're like, hey, are you talking about Dead to Fall? And I'm like, yeah, you must be a huge local fan too. And he's like, no, the drummer from that band was one of my best friends. And I'm like, holy shit. And we strike up a conversation. And 2 years later, 2 or 3 years later, Tim Java's on the podcast. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I have a weird fucking life, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it is exactly what you said.
Great stories to share tonight.
It is
already.
exactly what you said. It's 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, and the shit just kind of happens the way it's supposed to fall into place.
Start having conversations because you don't know who's standing next to you.
Exactly.
You don't know who's standing next to you knows the next guy who's standing next to you. Like, it's incredible the relationships you can build if you're just a decent person and you're willing to talk to people and do good things and build relationships. Like, it's amazing, man. Like the whole full circle thing, and I think it's just kind of the epitome of what we're talking about. Like, it's a small world. Like, we all know each other.
It's a small world. Tim's rocking out. He's having a great time. This is Rockstar Tim.
Hold on. We can just do this for the rest of the night. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We're not doing that. Not yet. Hold on. We are playing this video. Tim wanted to play this video. We're going to play this video.
Play this video.
We're going to play this video again, and hopefully we hear it this time. If not, I give up. We still don't hear it. God damn it. Yes, we do.
Yes. Oh my God, Sandy's still hanging out.
Was
It was Faith and Failure, right?
okay, Faith and Failure.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna play.
That's cool.
Now's what we're gonna do. People can't see us yet. Hold on, let me flip these cams. Oh god damn, I'm getting good at this. Okay, so now's what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a different one. We're gonna play Ambassador Gun. My Old Drummer,
Yeah, do
Pat. This is one of my favorite music videos made on a great low budget.
So this is Tim's old band.
This is Tim's
over
old
here.
band, Ambassador Gun. So people asked, how did this band become? We were going to play this first, but we kind of got into it and things got out of order the way I originally intended. People always ask, like, why don't you do this? I have a lot of plans and they never go right. So I gave up on trying to dictate how podcasts go. I was going to play this video first, because I kind of knew this led into Cobra Czar.
For sure.
So this is Ambassador Gun. The drummer for this band is my old drummer, Pat Ruland, who's coming on the podcast soon. So you're going to see this video again in a few weeks because I'll cue it up when Pat's on. But I wanted to play this first. We just never got to it. It got out of order, and I said, fuck it. Let's just do the second one. Let's just get straight to Cobra Czar. But here is sort of, I guess, the pre-origins.
Pre-Cobra.
Pre-Cobra.
For sure.
The pre-Cobragins.
Yes, pre-Cobragins.
Instead of pre-origins, it's the pre-Cobragins.
Pre-Cobragins.
All right, here we go.
That'd be cool.
Just
You-
come on over.
Yeah, you might like the prog band. It's cool.
I
Fuck
think
yeah,
we-
let's go.
I think.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we can keep going, but I feel like we need to wrap
Lonix
this
in
up.
the chat too. God, I love that guy. Lonix, cool. I listened
Lonix
to
the man.
the podcast. Yeah, fuck. I started listening to the podcast from last week, and I looked at it. I was like, "Holy shit, 7 hours? Is this 7 hours long?"
Yeah, that was a shit show. That was an
It
absolute
was
shit show.
great. I was like, "Is it actually 7 hours long?"
So
Like, oh my
literally,
God.
like Lonic left, and we were gonna wrap it up, and then we realized we were only a few hours away from WandaVision being premiered, and we were both obsessed with the idea of WandaVision
Let's just do
finale.
it. I didn't make it that far.
So we just literally somewhere in that podcast, we literally just said fuck it, and we're just gonna literally podcast until 1:59.
yeah, why not?
And then we're shutting it down, and we're watching
that's
WandaVision.
great.
So we walked into that premiere, like,
I started listening to it, and I was like, "It says it's 7 hours long." I was like, "Did I?
yeah,
is my
don't.
is my browser messed up? What's
No,
happening here?"
no,
It's
that
like,
was
7
real.
hours long. All right.
And it's not worth listening to unless you're obsessed with WandaVision.
I love you, Aaron. You're great.
Unless you're obsessed with WandaVision, because once Aaron left, we had about 30 minutes of coherent conversation, and then from there on out, all I remember is saying "sipper" over and over again about the whiskey. All I
that's all
remember
right.
is saying "sipper, sipper,
It's all
sipper."
right.
And then WandaVision, and I remember us ending it at like 1:59 because we're in Central Time Zone, and we knew WandaVision was at 2 a.m. So like the whole point was just to like get blasted and go
Get to
all
that
the
point.
way to WandaVision.
Yeah, why not?
There's no point to watch that podcast. After Aaron leaves, give it about a half hour and then just shut it off. Because the whole rest of that thing
Turn
is
it off.
just bullshit.
Don't listen anymore.
There's no reason. I swear to God. Even fucking Chester will admit that.
All right.
Like, yeah, that was a disaster. I just don't edit things.
That's
I
fine.
feel like
you don't
I
have
feel
to.
like this is we're having fun and we could keep going, but Tim,
If we're gonna be honest here,
Hold on.
Let's be honest. Tim gets up early. Tim,
hold on.
Tim's fucking hard worker. Tim's been up. It's late, dude. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Tim's probably been up since like 4:30. This guy's fucking working hard. To be honest with you, the fact that he made it as long as he did, this is
I'm
amazing.
impressed.
He's
This
great,
was a
dude.
fucking blast.
Tim's a work.
All right, where
the
can
best
people
thing
follow you?
About Cobra Czar. Just to be honest with you, add everything. We got it. We got
Website?
it nailed down.
Website?
We got the website CobraCzar.com.
Nice. That's where it's at.
At Cobra Czar, Instagram, Facebook, the bullshit, all the bullshit.
CobraCzar.com.
Yeah. So
CobraCzar.com.
if we want to hit like the band, like bullshit, whatever, this year we're gonna record an album. None of us are gonna lie. It's gonna be fucking sick. We have two songs that we're doing right now that we've been working on that we're gonna release.
I'm not gonna lie.
as
It's fucking
a,
awesome.
It is, and the best part is we're not gonna blow smoke up our own ass because we know we're already blowing it out of our own ass, and it's gonna be fucking tight.
Do you guys have any last minute questions you want us to
Yeah, shoot them out there.
Yeah, like hit us up. I mean, because when we always do this, when I always go, okay, let's start wrapping this up, it always takes at least 15, 20 minutes.
Minnesota goodbye. Why not?
Well, not only is it the Minnesota goodbye, but it's always super awkward if you're just like, all right, let's wrap this up.
yeah.
See ya. It's like, really? You're not going to give that
Right.
guy a way to...
So the best part is we got two songs that we've just been recording on lately that are going to be like a nice little preview of what the album is going to be. We're going to drop them out. We got some videos coming out too with it. Just a little dip, a little bit of dab into what the Cobra is going to bring out in terms of this year. And not tons of room for solos on all of them, but we'll try. We'll see what happens. And the coolest thing is the two songs that we recorded are probably our two most diverse tunes in terms
Do you guys
of,
have any shows or tours booked?
there are no shows or tours booked at all right now, but the thing is we're ready. Like when it happens, all somebody has to do is tell us, hey, do you guys want to play? We're fucking ready. Because I guarantee you right now, you want us to play a 45-minute set? We're going to play a 45-minute set. You want us to play a 60-minute set? I don't know if people are ready for that because it's going to be too heavy, but we're ready to play a 60-minute set. So it's fucking ready is the thing. And as soon as the world is ready to get back to the normal, we're ready to do it. And we have shit in the works. We're getting ready. when the world is ready, we're gonna drop it on them.
There you go.
And
we
it's
played
as easy as this.
the video twice. CobraChar.com.
Yeah. And we're gonna have new videos out soon.
And you're getting the vibe.
It's
and you're
different.
getting the vibe. These are good dudes. These are fucking. I mean, Tim's a bona fide rock star. Look at him.
Tim's a rock star.
Look at him.
Tim, give us a rock star move. See, if you want to see a rock star, this is all you have to ask for. This is Tim. This is Tim's best rock star move. And if we're gonna be honest here, like we've got, it's gonna be a ton of fun. Tim Java's got custom fucking drums. We're hanging out. Everyone in our band, when the album comes out, is gonna have custom guitars.
If anybody
for them.
has any,
It's gonna be.
if anybody
it's all
wants
killer,
to
no
know,
filler.
if anybody wants to know why we keep bragging about Tim Java's drums, go listen to 2 songs. I want you to look up Chum Fiesta, and I want you to look up Major Rager by Dead to Fall. And specifically, there's a couple different parts in each of those songs where I want you to listen to what I would define as the tempo groove change in the kick drums and how they move. He almost moves the meter on just the kick drums while everything else stays constant. That's the only way I can describe it as a musician. Like, if nobody understands what I'm talking about, then you're either above me or below me. I'm either too stupid to describe what I'm talking about, or you're too much of an idiot to understand. I don't really know, but that's like the way he fluctuates. I remember him doing this double bass thing, and the only way I can describe it is he moves the meter in like some sort of, not a timing change, but like a groove / swing change, while the rest of the actual time. He fucking knows exactly what I'm talking about too, but
So,
we're not going to get into this in chat.
But the best
like,
part,
go listen
yeah.
to those 2 songs, and you're going to hear
They're awesome.
he's not just a normal metal drummer.
No, and the best part about it is not to like.
It's obnoxious.
All right, I got a fucking Cobra Czar flute here. I'm just gonna fucking.
I mean,
toot
he's
that.
your drummer now.
Yeah, he is.
Jesus Christ.
And if we're gonna toot the Cobra Czar flute here, to be honest with you, Tim here is playing guitar. Tim has awesome fucking riffs. We have Mikey playing guitar. Mikey fucking locks in the riffs, and they're fucking heavy. We got Tim Java playing the drums. Somehow I'm just hanging it back down low. But when you have Mike Fischetti on the vocals, there's something different about it.
Nice.
And so when you get to tap into the tunes that we have coming out and the things that we have coming up, there's just something a little bit different about it. It's a different feel. If you like classic rock, you're gonna fucking like it. If you like Led Zeppelin, you're gonna fucking like this. If you like fucking Martyr AD and you like Ambassador Gun and you like Dead to Fall and all the other shit that everybody's been a part of in the Blue Ox, you're gonna like this. And it's everyone's gonna like our band. Whatever. You're gonna like. But to be honest with you, you don't know how to describe it. And I know Tim, you'll
Basically,
agree.
as long as you're not offended by heavy music, you're probably gonna dig it.
It feels like
It's
such
just
a
a good
weird
band, dude.
culmination.
You guys are just a good
of
band.
everything. You're all gonna like it. And so that's why when
And
people,
if you don't like it, you're not gonna like it.
if you don't
then
like it,
move
then
on.
that's okay.
Then
It's
move
okay.
on.
You can go
Then
listen
move
to
on.
Britney Spears,
Then
and that's
you're
all
not
right.
about that
You're not
life.
gonna hurt our feelings.
You're not about that life. Let's move on.
But when people
most
ask us,
people who are into anything who is heavy, they're gonna dig it.
yeah,
Because it's not too specific. It's not too one way or not enough of another way. That's actually almost the opposite of what I'm experiencing in my project. My band's either too heavy for some people or not heavy enough for others. Like, we're not enough or too much. That's always our problem. You're describing the opposite. You're
So yeah. So like when you were asking us a question earlier, the best thing is like, what do you guys sound like? When we tell everybody, what do we sound like? We sound like heavy metal.
What do you want us to sound like?
Because it's a little bit of everything. It's what do you want us to sound like? We're gonna sound like your favorite thing. It's a little bit of everything. Plays for your grandma? I bet your grandma might like it. Plays for your mom? I don't know.
Shout out
You're
to
gonna
Tim
like it.
Java, who's been in the chat all night. Love you, brother. We all love you, man. Shout out to Adam CD. Thank you for watching and hanging out. I'm excited to have you on the podcast coming up. Shout out to all the listeners and viewers, everybody who's involved, our whole little scene here. I'm not going to go down a list of band names because that's just...
It's a lot.
Come on.
It's a lot.
Don't do that.
Everybody rules.
But I do want to give a shout out to Greg Chilton at Ritual Madness Podcast, John Wheeler with the Alchemical Cocktail Lounge, and Andrew Oatmans with Thrash Metal Studio. We're kind of the four dorkmen of the apocalypse here in Minneapolis. Different vibes, different things, but we're all kind of doing the same thing, man. We're all just trying to like make this place worth being in again.
It's coming around. The world's coming back around. It's going to happen.
We're doing our thing. We're finally getting our act together.
We're all going to see each other face to face real soon.
Thank you guys for hanging out tonight so much. Follow these guys at CobraZar.com. CobraCzar.com.
Boom. Boom.
And you can just go to jaredsinger.com from now on as well, or you can follow me at Jared Singer Live on everything. But make sure you hit like, subscribe, and please share the podcast because word of mouth is always the best way to promote this thing. I put money into the production, but I don't spend any real actual money on promotion. None of that shit works. I need you guys to tell everyone how awesome this place is to be and come hang out with us.
This is great. Everyone should
looking forward to so many more of you guys. Half of you guys are in the chat tonight. Sanders, looking forward to having you on the podcast, buddy. Man, we got big plans. This thing's growing. It's only going to keep getting bigger. So everybody who's already in on it now, thank you. Everybody who's listening to this in the future and they decide to get on it, thank you too. We love you guys. And yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday. I don't think I have one coming up this Saturday. So yeah, next Tuesday should be the next one. Love you guys. We'll see you on the way out.
Peace.